mic audio. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the bonus roll Second Sight Agency campaign. My lord, we were gone for a while, especially you, Meryl, weren't you?
Yep, stuff's been busy, unfortunately.
Life is life. So, sorry for being away. We are going to try and minimize the schedule conflicts that basically shut us down, and I am perfectly willing to completely blame the fact that everything fell apart after episode 13 on, the standard 13 scapegoat.
Sure, we'll go with that.
So, as a quick note, GM's Brew is going to be on temporary hiatus because I am way behind on my schoolwork. And I have a lot of homebrew stuff that I need to refine for it before we can get that packet up on the DM's Guild. The background music that you're hearing is as always, provided by Sirenscape. They have a few new packets out on sounds that I'm going to look into getting that are for, the Ghost of Saltmarsh expansion set, so may have some nice nautical themes I could throw into some scenes. I am wanting to eventually expand our background music beyond just the omnipresent idle music and the battle music. We are still doing our Get Dice giveaway because still no one has won this set of dice. We are way behind on where I would like to be on our follower count, but that's as much my fault as anything else. So, if you like us, follow us on Twitter. If you're watching this later on YouTube, please subscribe. You don't have to turn on the notification bell, but if you want to be told that, hey, a new video has been uploaded, then that will help. Let's see here. So, it's been a while, so I'll give a quick recap. Having been contracted by Asaf the Bright Soul to retrieve a coin similar to the brass coin that y'all had retrieved earlier, y'all began a trip to the first precinct. But during the tram ride, where y'all were waylaid, I wanted to say relayed, but that's not the right word. Waylaid by Asham, your liaison. Oh, hey, Equilibrium, thanks. Glad to be back. Equilibrium said, "Welcome back." Y'all were waylaid by Asham, your liaison with the Demir Guild. Or House Demir, sorry. No guild is called the Guild for some reason. No. Felicia Day. Anyway, y'all, wow, I am very ADHD this morning. Please bear with me. Y'all were waylaid, threatened with lava death if y'all gave the coin to Asaf, and then rerouted to Farkeep. Having explored the town and fought off an incursion of seemingly elemental and dragonic monsters, y'all went out to explore the surrounding area and found a maintenance tunnel of sorts that led into a air shaft above what appeared to be a deep underground facility. Exploring this air shaft, y'all came across a very large, very bony dragon-like creature that proceeded to almost kill y'all. Y'all retreated. Reeve started spreading word of y'all's great exploits in this. Someone said the word dragon in the middle of the town square.
Fair, dear.
Wise course of action.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And then proceeded about 12 hours later to sound an alarm at the edge of said town. During all this time, Rail has been unconscious due to unknown causes, something related to the Raven's Head dagger that he'd been carrying for a while now. And so I believe if no one has anything else to add, or if I didn't forget anything, I think we're ready to get back into this. This is your chance.
Right.
It's good to be back.
Okay.
Good to have you back.
It's good to be. Good be it time, place, now, here. I don't know.
What was it that we're looking for? The Vault of the Gold King? That's not right.
Hold on. Let me... The exact name...
I have it written down, but I pulled my notes out to redo them for the wiki, and I kind of...
Things happened. Understandably so.
You happen. Where is my little
At one
blurb?
point, yes.
Search the word gold.
Oh, right.
Vault. Vault might be better.
Farkeep document. Why it's listed here? Why is it not listed here? Okay.
That's okay.
I believe it was Vault of the Gold King, or the King of Gold.
Right.
Okay.
That works for now, and we can...
Vault of the King of Gold is what I have written.
Okay, King of Gold. Yes. Okay. I wasn't too far off. Asking me questions live on stream, expecting me to actually have answers. Let's see here now.
Just making sure I'm not missing any dice.
Okay, that's good, because I need you to roll me a wisdom saving throw when you have a chance.
Oh dear. Alright. And that is... Ooh, not a bad roll. That is 21.
21? Okay. So, Rail,
21.
you've been floating in this seemingly endless dark for... You have no idea how long. It's quiet, it's peaceful, it's serene. There is nothing. And then for some reason, outside of your knowledge, outside of your control, a world blooms around you. You see green leaves on trees and dark wood forming into a entryway. A hallway stretches out behind two figures that walk down it, and a large oaken door with etchings and glyphs cascading down the front of it like a waterfall is sealed before them. A young goblin and a female Vidalkin, both in Selesnya robes, approach the door. The goblin stops and looks up at the Vidalkin and produces a wooden key from within his robes and reaches up and unlocks the door. There's a click and the door starts to swing open and bright light pours out. Can I have you make me another wisdom saving throw?
Okay. Go for the same die. Ooh, that is 12.
12. The light encompasses everything around you, and you're no longer floating in a black void. You're now floating in a white void. And slowly the white starts to thin out and become more like mist. And you're standing on the docks, looking over a harbor full of ships and with a cityscape behind you. Thin mist rising up off of the waves as you hear it lapping against the docks. In front of you are two figures. You recognize them as brother and sister just from the way they stand. He has short black hair and wears a breastplate with an emblem of a bird flying over a skull. His counterpart has long red hair tied in braids, wearing loose robes with a leather breastplate, and holding a raven-headed dagger. They both are wearing cloaks of black feathers that cascade all the way down to their legs. And as they look out over the harbor, the water roils and starts to bubble as long tentacles start to emerge and swarm towards the docks. Go ahead and make me another wisdom saving throw.
Oof. Alright. That is 17.
17. The tentacles swarm forward and wrap around the two figures, blocking out theirs, blocking them from your vision, as well as your own vision. Everything goes black again, and you hear the sound of rushing water. It crashes down all around you as an omnipresent force, and then the darkness starts to part, and you see that Videlkin woman again. She's by herself now. She's standing at the base of a cascading waterfall. In her hand is one of the extraction daggers, like the one that you've seen Faradir use in the past. She's standing before this waist-high altar with intricate carvings and what looks like channels running through it. She gently inserts the blade into the dagger, and the red starts to bleed out of the gems and trace lines of energy through the altarway. Go ahead and make me another make me another wisdom saving throw.
Okay. That is 16.
16. The red fills your vision, blocking out everything. And as it starts to fade, it doesn't just disappear, it contracts down onto the petals of a single red flower. And then from that flower, your vision expands into a glade in the center of a green forest. Living trees throughout the area are warped into the shapes of tables and chairs. You hear background music in the background, and see people in the center of the glade dancing and throwing a festivity. At the farthest end of the glade is a large throne-like chair. Upon it sits a familiar figure that you recognize as Rybald, though he looks different. He looks both ancient and eternal, with deep lines and still like a youthful power to his figure. His hair is long and he wears fine, ornate royal clothes. People from the crowd come forward and place on the ground before him what looks like black gemstones carved in the shape of acorns or large seeds of some kind. Go ahead and make me one final wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Rail is going to be very confused. That is 17 again.
17. As this scene fades into darkness, you feel yourself start to stir and wake. Your eyes blink open in the dark, and a figure is looming over you wearing a kind of almost Victorian style mask, full from the top of her face to the bottom, white alabaster with decorations around the eyes and down the side of the cheeks. You're laying in a bed, and she's holding a dagger while looking over you. You hear the sound of alarm in the background, people running and shouting. And you are awake.
Dear. She's holding a dagger while standing over the bed I'm laying in.
Not threatening. She's not going like this. She's like holding it ready at her side.
Okay. Alright. I don't know what I drank, but maybe I should drink a little bit less of it next time.
I guess that means we're back to real time.
We are back to real time.
Okay, so Faradir's alarm has woken me up too, probably.
Yeah. The entire town is awake. Faradir, you sounded the alarm, and you are currently watching from the wall top as what appears to be giant like mushroom people, not like 15 foot tall, but like giant for a mushroom, are fighting with slightly smaller mold-like people just outside of the rot farm. So, here is where we are. Ingrid, you know where you were, I believe. Because I don't remember. I think you went to bed.
I was sleeping with my armor on, propped up on a thing of pillows and blankets, because I was thinking a dragon was going to come to town.
Right.
You and
Sorry,
many other people.
am I sure I'm awake?
I mean, roll for awareness?
Check the room and see if Griggum and Reeve are there.
I got... awareness isn't a skill, but I rolled a 2, so...
You're not
Guess
quite
not.
sure.
All right. It. Okay. Is that alarm in my head? And
The woman with the mask and the dagger looks down at you, and she kind of holds a finger to her mouth before she goes to the door, opens it, and looks down, and then looks back at you and nods.
I've had hangovers this bad, but not often. All right. Yeah, I'm going to try to quietly get up and see if I can gather any of my things if they're there.
Okay, most of your stuff is there. It looks like they got you a private room, and that someone has been keeping a watch on you. You do see the word "hi" carved into the wood of one of the walls.
Wait, hi or hide?
Hi.
Oh, like H-I.
Yeah.
Okay. Not like someone was high and carved it.
Well, I mean, I can't rule that out either.
Also high up on the wall.
It's about, like,
Okay.
eye level, so yeah.
I'm gonna look around for Griggum and Reeve and start opening the door.
Okay. Reeve is
Question,
already in... Oh, 1 second, please. Reeve is already in the hallway. He's pulling...
Have I...
What's up?
Oh.
I didn't hear what you asked. I'm not hearing anything you're saying, Meryl. Okay, someone let Meryl know that I can't hear him. Zizva, as you are coming out of the hallway, coming out of the room, you see Reeve. He's already in the hallway. He's got, like, his padded shirt on, and he's pulling on that leather breastplate armor that he wears with the, kind of the Harlequin design. And he has a pair of, like, what looks like magician's hoops at the, in his hands. So he looks over you and is like, ready? Okay.
No sign of Griggum?
Y'all don't see Gregum. Rail, can you hear me? Rail, can you hear me?
Well, let's
Okay.
wait a sec for... Oh, I hear him now. I
Okay.
think we got sound back for
Okay.
everyone.
What were you asking, Rail? You were saying something about, like, did you or were you?
So, have I taken a long rest since the last time I
Yeah,
got
you
to
have.
play?
You
Okay.
have had a very long rest.
Yes. Okay.
Super long rest.
The events during which I am sure one or more people will be happy to relay to you once you find your friends. And you do hear you hear Ingrid's voice, I believe, from outside the hallway.
I do. Okay. Well, there's a familiar voice.
Oh, Ingrid's always friendly.
It's true. That's true. So yeah. Get at least slightly dressed, grab my cane, and lean out into the hallway to see what's going on. Because what?
Oh, Rail. As you grab your cane and your other stuff, check your inventory, you have a new item as well.
Ooh. Interesting.
Rail leans out into the hallway and, like, he's awake. Or at least a version of him is awake.
Oh, you're up! And then she's actually going to push his door open a little bit further to see if he has company in there.
The masked woman that y'all have seen around the dancer skirt, but none of y'all have really interacted with much, is in there as well. She's holding a dagger, but she's holding it loosely, like she's ready to defend herself more than attack.
She's gonna wave and say thanks for looking in on him.
She kind of just silently nods her head.
Not in shape for this alarm, though, are you?
No. My head was pounding enough already. Thank you very much.
Hopefully it's not what I'm worried it is. I guess I'm going to go take a look. Do you want some help with your armor in case?
I think I should be able to manage. But what? How long is it? How long was I out? What's been going on?
A couple days. 3 days, maybe? I believe today's the
3 days.
6th.
It's the 6th.
Okay, what did I drink?
I don't think you ordered a special drink. I know Grigham had a Hellhound at night, and Fairdeer had a mushroom tonic.
I know, I'm just making assumptions.
We all ate the same food, and we had the shared bottle, so... I rather think it was probably that weird dagger you were holding. We took you in for some medical healing, but it didn't work. Well, I didn't think it would work, and Fairdeer authorized us to spend 150 gold on you.
Fairdeer, you can see people are starting to arrive around you at the wall. A couple of them are looking over at the mushroom folk and the mold, but they're just like holding ready in case the battle turns towards the city.
Okay, so this is legitimate. Alright,
Oh, it's like
yeah.
maybe 15 total, but they're fighting each other. And
Okay.
they don't seem to be having any interest in the city.
Well, what can I say? I'm an idiot. Okay,
None of the guards seem upset. They're watching, they're wary, they are very high tension. But none of them are really talking to each other or you. They're keeping an eye on like what's going on outside the city.
yeah, I think I have my crossbow drawn. Am I within quote-unquote range?
I believe the new
Within
one has a
that.
range of 60 feet.
Yeah.
The new diplomatic incident starts, and it's a 3-way war.
Yeah, you're about the wall is about 30 feet tall. So yeah, you can hit things about maybe from the foot of the wall out to about Pythagoras. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. 60-foot radius at 60.
I guess.
Yeah, you should be able to hit things about
Yeah.
like 40 feet out, I believe.
I guess to simplify my question is, can I actually reach them with this weapon, or do I need to switch to my bow?
You
Should
can
they-
get to, like, you can hit a couple of the ones that are closest to the wall, but the ones that are farther out are about 100 feet out.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna stick with my crossbow then, because if they're gonna turn on the town, they're going to get within range, and I'm just gonna kind of hold the guards.
Okay.
Didn't mean for that to be so drawn
Awaken the
out,
whole
but yeah.
town? Yeah.
Well, if the guards had spies murmurs, we could have done this a little more tactically, but, well...
Subtly.
Okay, quick scene shift back to Ingrid and Rail.
Fairdeer was supposed to be on guard at the south wall. Can we tell
Oh,
which
yeah, the
direction the
nosebleed.
alarm's coming from?
You can't
Or
tell
is
where
it just everywhere?
You can't tell where the initial alarm came from, but you can, but, oh no, you're inside the inn, so you're probably not even going to be able to see where the direction people are hurrying.
Yeah, I think it's time to go downstairs and step out for me anyway. If Rail's up for it.
Okay, as you head out, there is a mildly irritated, who is, Lesney, and, one of the dancers are hauling tables back in front of the doorway again. They stop when they see y'all coming and, like, hold the door open for you.
Sorry, guys. We're gonna go check it out.
The woman in the mask, she didn't follow me out.
She followed you downstairs, but she didn't leave.
Okay, but she's like there.
Yes. She's just like trailing along behind the rest of the group. Well, you just got there at the time, but you had
And
seen her.
Nobody seems to be reacting oddly to her because
No.
she wasn't somebody I recognized.
like, you saw her in the area when y'all first arrived. Man, I am not liking what my hair is doing right now. Anyway, you saw her in the area, but then you went unconscious before you had a chance to really interact with many people.
Okay. Alright. I'm trying to think what this last thing that Rail would specifically remember before he went unconscious.
Last thing would be holding the dagger as it pulsed in your hand.
Right, but we fought that weird metal angel thing.
Yeah, you fought the metal angel, the lightning angel. Then y'all fought a bunch of lizard-like dragon dogs, or dragon-like lizard dogs.
Right.
And then y'all went to the north and saw the remains of a kind of elemental explosion.
Yes.
And we met up with Rafin there, and then we went to go get food, and then he came back and paid us. And then I think you passed out while we were doing strategy.
Okay, yes. I think it's getting a little more clear. Sorry.
Okay. Ingrid, as you head outside, you see like a number of guards rushing to kind of the southeast, more east than south.
I'll call out to one. What's the disturbance?
And so looks over and he's like, alarm got sounded near the rot farm.
Well, Ingrid will probably start heading that way to check it out.
Well, you coming with?
Of course.
As y'all leave the dancer's skirt, like the door gets slammed behind you, and you can very faintly hear the sound of like tables being dragged in front of it.
Oh, was Kay with Fairdeer?
Yes, Kay is with Fairdeer unless he is told to stay other places.
It's kind of funny, the dog going on the wall.
Oh,
Says
there's like.
No, I'm just thinking it's funny.
Oh yeah.
I'm heading over.
Okay.
As we head that direction, since I know he was on the south wall, I'll try to ping Fairdeer. Hey, you in?
You're within.
Where are you?
It's not a huge city, so yeah. Fairdeer, you can hear Ingrid talking in your mind.
Hi.
So, what's going on?
There's an incident at the rot farm. Some kind of battle between moss and mushrooms.
Oh, the mold and my Conid war. Yeah. Oh, hey, Rail, it's the mold and Maconid war.
Yeah, how... Okay, I'm pretty sure I know what a mole is. What in the world is a myconid, and why are they at war?
Mushroomish people.
Is this a normal thing down here?
Well, they said they were having a war when we arrived, but that it was driving the undead up, but they weren't involved.
And now we're involved.
I
Right.
suppose so, or it boiled over. I guess it's not a major emergency, but we should probably check it out, see what's going on.
That sounds like a good plan to me. I don't suppose they're... I don't know, they don't attack humans on sight or anything like that, dude.
Attacking humans down here? No, the city is probably more than half human.
Okay, well...
I actually have
There's a-
demographics.
We know it's got a good amount of Dev Karen, a decent amount of half-elves, and a fairly large amount of humans, I think. I don't know the official demographics, though.
I mean, you tend to hear stories, is what I'm saying.
D&D, for where you like high fantasy and census data.
I don't know,
And
city
the
has
demographics are
reputation
posted.
in some areas.
Ingrid just shrugs and smiles and goes, "Yeah, definitely," and keeps heading over.
Alright then. Alright, so let's head over. See what there's... What the hell?
Okay, So, let's see here. Let me see how they're doing. The monocoids, the mushroom people, are doing fairly well holding their own against the mushroom people, but they're like little moss dogs are. Did I see the mushroom people?
Yes.
Against the mold people. But their little fungus dogs have been like flanking at them, pushing the mushroom folk back. Let's see here. It'll take about Ingrid and Rail. Are y'all running over, or are you just moving at a hustle?
I think more striding than running, since we're not directly involved in the conflict. She just kind of wants to go see him since she's already up.
Okay, it takes about maybe.
I am following at whatever pace she does, holding my head the whole.
Okay.
Besides, I
This
mean,
alarm
we've
is
established
not
that
kind.
Rail doesn't hustle.
These hunters.
It's true. It's true. So, it is like roughly a mile. So it takes you about maybe 20 minutes just strolling. It'll take you about 10 minutes at a hustle. So we'll say you get there after about like 15 minutes or so. Fair dear. During these 15 minutes that your friends are walking over, essentially, you see the mold people and the mushroom are fighting back and forth. Let's see, third roll. Oh, that is a rout. Eventually, the mushroom folk kind of pincer with their every damn time. The mold folk kind of do a pincer maneuver where they have the moss dogs come at them from one angle while they push at another angle. They end up splitting the mushroom forces in half, surrounding one of them, and the other half of the mushroom forces retreat while the mold folk are fighting the trapped ones. There doesn't seem to be any hostility towards the city itself, and after the fighting calms down, most of the guards look over at you and shrug and head back towards their barracks as Ingrid and Rail arrive. I didn't hear what you said, Mailer.
Is this kind of thing normal down here?
Are you asking Ingrid or someone else?
Just kind of musing out loud. They don't seem particularly, I guess, invested in the battle to the death right outside the walls.
Well, I think the mushrooms and the molds have a deeper territory. I think they're mostly just concerned with securing their own city. I mean, if they needed to build another city and it was down there, that would be a different matter.
Okay. I don't suppose we're planning on heading down in that direction anytime soon.
We've got some catching up to do, I guess. So we went exploring without you, and Ingrid's gonna go ahead and start climbing up on the wall to watch the end while she talks to Rail.
Okay. Wait, are there stairs or
There is actually a set of double back stairs, so they go
Oh, okay. So
Sorry,
not just walking up to the wall and just start climbing the wall.
Okay, so as y'all head towards and start up the staircase, y'all can see Faraday and Kay with the crossbow shouldered, heading back towards the south along the top of the wall.
I'll wave at Faraday and ping him that we're gonna watch the end and get Rail caught up. He's awake.
Okay.
So he knows where we are if he wants to head over.
If there's any way of sending emotion with the thought, it's a very suppressed emotion, like just trying to be as like conspicuously inconspicuous.
Okay. Roll me deception.
So, like, Fair Deer, if you want to tell any part of the story your way, you should probably come and help fill him in.
1. You successfully 18. You successfully convey that you are expressing suppressed emotion.
So, if you want to fill him in on any part of the story your way, you should hang out. You should head over.
Y'all should note that Reeve did not leave the dancer's skirt with you. He stayed behind as a protective force there.
Makes total sense.
Yeah, I mean, technically my job right now is to guard that place.
Okay.
So I need to... Yeah, I'm transmitting this. My job right now is to guard this place, and I need to do that.
You want to head over to where Fair Deer is, Rail, and we'll catch up in case I forget any details?
Let's do that, yeah.
So
by the
when...
way, that woman with the mask, I don't suppose... She was in the room when I woke.
Yes, the girls have been checking in on you. We took you to a healer who said he would watch you. I told him don't do any treatment. We think it's just a magical item and it'll wear off. Fair Deer, and Fair Deer's in range of this conversation now, authorized him to do whatever treatment he wanted to try.
Business expense.
So well, I mean, I remember you saying Rail was responsible for the money.
What kind of healer was that?
The apothecary in town who makes potions and stuff and treated the people after the lightning and lizard battle. So Fair Deer authorized 150 gold spent. And we went back and it didn't do any good, so we took you to the room and I arranged you nurse check-in, basically, from the really pretty dancers.
I'm just thinking, in the Simics, if you tell somebody that they can try whatever they like, you generally don't wake up with the same number of limbs that you started out with.
I think someone needs to tell Fair Deer that.
What do you mean? Squelch, squelch, squelch.
Yeah. Exactly.
Apparently our other Simic didn't get the memo.
Alright.
So we found an old fountain outside of town. We went in. Some big creature made of bones laying on a treasure hoard tried to attack and lightning us.
No, I'm looking around to make sure like nobody else is like kind of within earshot of all this.
Most of the guards have left, and I'm assuming y'all are returning to the southern portion where not a lot of the guardsmen were called to.
Yeah.
So, it's
just making sure.
It's roughly 5 a.m. at this point for y'all. So there's a couple people that are waking up and starting about their day, but there's no one that's like, hanging around.
So we fought with the big lightning bone lizardy thing, and it said it would see us again. So I've been worried about it's going to come to the town, but no one else seems worried about that. And then we had our meeting that Brithen invited us to with the noble. We might want to, swing by again so you can meet her. And she gave some magic weapons, like the one Fair Deer's holding. Points.
Oh.
I kind of...
What is Fair Deer holding?
Fair Deer is holding what looks like a very large, heavy crossbow with a double bow at the front of it and a kind of glowing mechanical orb set into its housing.
Interesting. Good for them. All right.
Yeah, Grigum got some kind of staff thing, too. It seemed to help with directions.
Where is Grigum? Okay.
For
I mean, we
all
were
I know-
at the only drinking establishment I knew of, so...
Maybe he found another. Speakeasy?
I mean, he goes sometimes for training. Maybe he's doing push-ups on the edge of town.
Yeah, it's probably not important.
Reeve was there.
Cool.
As a note, Faraday, you still haven't given Reeve his cloak.
Our pin.
Yeah.
Do you want to go see the local noble lady, or are you more interested in us getting on track with finding this coin thing?
Oh, are you asking Faraday or Rail?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to just take a bit to catch back up. So lead the way. I may regret saying this, but I trust you.
So we're morning where people are starting to get up, right?
It's like 5 by the time y'all get back to the southern portion. The replacement guard that was going to be taking Faraday's place is showing up. It's almost 6 at this point.
Oh, good. Okay. So,
I was
Okay.
thinking we get breakfast and then we go see Emerson because we have some stuff we need to order. I was thinking if we're gonna fight a big lizard with lightning, it might be good if we had something that blocks some of the lightning damage from its floor.
okay.
Breakfast first?
Breakfast sounds wonderful.
Sure.
Okay, so, as y'all are heading back to the Dancer's Skirt, it's getting pretty much full-on day. I mean, you're underground, so there's no day-night cycle that you can see. But, people are up and starting to do work. Ingrid, you hear a voice in the back of your head that you recognize as Kathall's. The drums from the Red Way grew louder and then stopped. There has been an attack. Do not come back. It is dangerous. Stay safe.
Huh.
After about a minute, there's a swirl in the air, and a 3-foot long like chest just kind of materializes in front of Ingrid.
I can still respond to her, right?
25 words.
Well, awake and well. Looking for possible extra income here. Found possible business venture. Will wait for your signal for returning. I think that fits.
Yeah. Inside the chest, if you open it, you find a large healing potion, potion of healing greater, a magic wand that is just kind of ornate, but at the base of it, it has the same emblem that y'all have seen on the second side agency door, the second side eye. And there is a rolled up scroll inside there as well.
Any instructions or paper with the wand?
Nope.
Okay. I guess I'll call them over if they want to help me with Arcana checks and take a look at the stuff.
Sure.
Okay.
Am I assisting, or do you want me to do it?
Let's look at the rolled up scroll first,
Okay.
because we might not need a check for it.
Make me
I
an
don't know.
Arcana roll.
Okay, if you probably want to assist, you have Arcana as a skill?
Yes.
Okay, so do I, so either way on that.
+1.
Whoever wants to take it, or whoever wants to help. Just I need one person to do the lead and one person to help, or just y'all can do individual rolls.
I'll assist.
Rail
Okay.
will help.
Okay, so whoever is
How
helming
about-
this, roll with advantage.
How about Fairdeer does his own check, because he always rolls high, and I'll take advantage from Rail.
Okay, so whoever's going first, go for roll.
13.
13. You look over it. Looking over the scroll, Fairdeer, you don't have much experience with this type of magic, but you recognize, between the three of you, y'all recognize this as a scroll of augury. And I am probably not pronouncing that right.
Augury?
Augury. Augury.
Yeah, I would think. It could always.
Ooh, it's a ritual spell.
I don't actually know what that is.
Well, Ingrid recognizes it.
Ingrid
Good.
snatches up the scroll and holds on to it.
Rail would also recognize it because he should be able to cast it naturally.
Yes, I can.
Well, he was assisting with me, so she would have shared the results.
Yeah.
So it's a ritual spell for augury. I need this, and she grabs it.
Fairdeer has no idea what that means.
Both in and out of character.
Essentially, I will give the rundown if you don't mind. Essentially, this lets you go, is this a good idea? About an event or action that you're going to take in the next 30 minutes. And you will be told either wheel, wheel and woe, or no response.
The idea of Ingrid having this is hilarious to me. Sorry.
So can I actually learn this one since it's a ritual spell, or not because it's only cleric?
You have your Book of Shadows now, right?
Yeah.
Then yes, it'll take you 50 gold pieces per level. So it'll be 100 gold, I believe. I will have to look at it. Someone look up how long it takes to scribe a spell. But yeah, it'll take you time and money. But the Book of Shadows lets you record any ritual.
Okay. And then I guess we do the same thing for the wand and we roll again?
Yep.
Natural 20 for my first roll. So 23.
23. Okay.
You're muted?
on mute.
I'm on mute?
Not now. I guess it
Maybe
just glitched at first.
I'm confused. Okay, can everyone hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
now.
I think
Yes.
it was just the video screwing up, not you.
Oh, okay. Okay,
I can
what
hear
were the
y'all,
roll
I
numbers?
can see y'all.
Okay.
23, natural 20.
Oh, a nat 20? You look it over and, like, kind of hold it for a second. The etching at the bottom catches your name. The etching of the second side logo catches your attention. And as
Catches my eye.
catches your eye. Attention, whatever. You're drawn to it. You say second sight, and for the next, I believe, 10 minutes, you are under the effect of detect magic.
So I know it can do that, or I activate it and that's
You
what it
activated
does. Okay. Do I know like how often it can be activated? If it's like a once per day?
It is a wand to detect magic. It has 3 charges, and it regains 1d3 charges at dawn.
Nice.
Very useful.
And does it have anything where it disintegrates if you put it to 0 charges? Like some
Nope.
of the... Okay. So I tell them what it does, and that we have 2 charges left on it at the moment. You've detected magic before, right, Rail?
Yes, it's a spell that I know, but it's always nice to have some redundant. Same
Okay,
thing with augury for that matter.
So I think I can learn the scroll later for augury if I hold on to it, and that way we we can use it more than once?
As a note, with augury, you have to have a material component of some form of spell of fortune-telling medium worth at least 25 gold.
Yeah, I need to do either a payout or a business expense, depending how we do it, and because
Okay.
my personal expenses won't even let me do the scroll yet, but
Yeah.
I can hold on to it for later.
It will take 4 hours and 100 gold for you to scribe the spell into your Book of
Yes,
Shadows.
I need to
Does it consume the fortune telling?
No.
Okay, you just have to have it.
Yeah. I mean, that'd
Okay.
be pretty sucky if your tarot cards burned up every time you use them.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, that would
That's
not
what I
be
figured.
fun.
Okay, cool.
Keep in mind, none of
Yeah,
y'all heard what Kathall said to Ingrid.
Yeah, I'll fill them in on that. So they said that the drumming got louder and stopped, and then there was like some big attack on the city, and not to come back yet because it wasn't safe. I mean, I guess they're just holed up in there and their supplies and stuff. I'm a little worried about it, but I think Kathall would know if they were good or not. So,
to be honest, I don't know if we were to try to come back to the city.
if we would get dumped in lava?
That's also a fact, but yeah, that's true. We don't really have transport back to the city, do we?
Well,
it's not at least very
I may have procured a mount so I didn't have to take the tram back if I didn't want to. I may have left it in the market, in a stall.
Okay.
So, I mean, theoretically, we could go back without being dumped in lava. But I think we have business we're taking care of here anyway. And Kathall would probably let us know if she wanted us to come back and defend the area.
I feel that that's correct.
I mean, she's got a sniper spot on the roof and everything. Huh?
How much?
It costs 60, but there's a chance I could get us a deal on a second mount for 30 instead of 60. Maybe. They're really cool. Do you want to go see it?
I guess.
Sure.
Why are we calling it a mount? I mean,
because it's like it's a Dromir. You said right? Dromin. They're kind of like Dromid. They have kind of like a horse with grasshopper legs.
It's kind of like if someone crossbred a grasshopper with a horse. It's basically a large quadrupedal cricket that it moves kind of in bounding motions.
Insect?
Yes, it's insectal.
okay.
I mean, as long as it...
They're super fast, and they can jump away quick.
As long as it doesn't spit up like a grasshopper, then that's not...
You know, I haven't rode it around quite enough to tell.
I could check. Is it like broken in?
Yeah, it came with the saddle and everything. It was a good deal.
Of note, it kind of has a natural sway back to it, so that it takes the saddle very well.
Oh.
What were you saying, Fearder? You're not... well, you're there, but you didn't see it, I don't think. Wait, did he go to the...
I was alone. I was getting him bolts.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh yeah, thank you for that. Okay. Sure.
And we'll go by, and then after breakfast, if everyone's up for it, and check on that after we talk to Emerson.
Can you give me 1 second?
Okay.
I don't know what's with these guys. They've been avoiding going to see the local smith. Like, every time I bring it up, they're like, no, we don't want to go see the smith.
I don't know. Billy, I do have a question. As far as augury, so you need a fortune-telling tool worth at least 25 gold. I've been carrying around a horror brain in a jar since our first part of the. How much would that be worth?
You
I
dissected
was about to
that.
say.
Sorry, say that again.
You dissected that. You cut up the brain.
I did not hear any of.
He's saying you dissected it and cut it up in the lab.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
and that would be if you could make Crassus later that have some of its abilities.
Oh, you're right. I never removed it from my. Sorry.
No worries.
You still have a jar, I guess. Unless it got smashed in your lab.
Oh, jeez. Hopefully not.
Yeah,
never
speaking
mind.
of which, about the lab, I guess we'll worry about it later.
The lab you know nothing about anything happening in?
I mean, I
Yeah,
thought
we
something happened, but
Probably
Details
check
are
back
vague.
there at some point after whatever's in there has starved to.
wait, what?
Hopefully.
That's a
Is that
good
a
problem.
conversation that Rail's having out loud with Fairdeer?
I love this problem-solving technique. We'll just let it starve to death. They'll be fine.
Is that a
Almost
conversation?
tore me in half.
Is this a conversation out loud with Rail and Fairdeer? I need to know this.
Yeah, usually more discreet, but my head is still pounding.
But then again, you
Uh-huh.
also know how much your discreetment works on me anyway, so...
Yeah. All right. So I also need to go buy some bones to roll.
Fairdeer has gone very rigid.
Well, let's run by Emerson and see how much it would be to get something that would block electricity, or who could make it in town, and then head to the market once they're more open.
Okay, so
That's-
y'all are
that
going
was
to
the plan to me.
Emerson's.
Yeah, after
We're getting
breakfast.
breakfast first, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
so they're more open.
so y'all make your way back to the dancer's skirt. The door is open. The table that is routinely hauled in front of it is just off to the side. It seems that,
Routinely.
yeah. It seems that Leslie has gotten tired of hauling it across the place, and so has just placed the table next to the doorway.
Fair enough.
The musician is in the back, just like plucking at her instrument, doing warm-up drills and stuff like that. Leslie looks over at y'all and says, oh, wow, ow, my throat just closed, sorry.
Are you okay, Leslie?
Don't try and do a voice while you're coughing. Leslie kind of looks over and says, are you okay? Did it go alright? What happened?
It looks like the mushrooms and slime war just boiled over a little bit, but not too bad. They seem to have taken care of it.
Okay. That's okay. Not good, but okay.
Speaking of, Rail's awake. What do I owe the
coming through?
What do I owe the girls for checking in on him?
Let's call it. It's been 3 days. Let's call it 5 gold, and I'll just split it among their wages.
Sounds good. And she pulls that out of the money and hands it across.
Okay. She kind of pockets the coins, and you hear a scratching sound from up above. Looking up there, you can see like her little Tressum Elthwin is like just clawing at the boards before it flutters down to sniff at the coins, and she just kind of like gives it a pet on the tabletop.
I imagine Watcher waves at it.
Well, I mean, that's up to you what Watcher does.
Yeah, Watcher's gonna wave to it.
Alright, so she sits down, puts the coins away and says, I'll get some breakfast out for you.
Thank you.
Y'all defending us. So,
Well, at least we didn't need to today.
so she heads off into the back. The musician is in the back of the room starting to pluck at like her strings, doing like her scales and stuff. Neither of the girls that y'all have seen dancing in the past are actively at like one of the stages, though they are in the area. A few of the people that you recognize from the past few days as having come in here for breakfast before heading to their work at the rot farm, or coming in to get something to drink at the end of their shift, are either filtering in or out. But yeah.
Also, note, how long have I been awake by now?
Well, you took a long rest while Ingrid was on guard.
Okay.
So you've been up maybe 4 hours?
Oh, okay, that's not bad at all.
Because Ingrid's thing ended at 2, she came and got you, and it's 6 now.
Okay. That works. Yeah, I should be fine.
Well, you took a long rest beforehand.
Yeah, I couldn't remember how long the shift was.
Oh,
so
yeah, you're fine.
if it was like 8 hours, I'd probably want to take a nap at some point.
No, they swap guards every 4 hours.
That seems reasonable. Makes sense. Okay.
Early to,
Cool.
early to ride.
Yeah, I guess breakfast time.
Alright. So, y'all take a seat and wait. After a little bit, the girl with the mask brings over a tray of maybe 2 to 3 inch ramekins of sauces and chunks of roasted meats and cooked vegetables and mushrooms. There's even one that looks like it has a bunch of roasted insects of one sort. She sets a lot of them on the table and then sets down a platter of just kind of spongy, soft bread, but a lot of it. You get the feeling that this is just kind of like the traditional meal serving technique of a bunch of little dishes that you can share among a group.
Hard to tempt Kay with the roasted insects.
Kay kind of
Grabs a handful before Kay gets to him. Just in case you try to give him all of her snacks. She gives one to Watcher.
Watcher kind of grabs him.
Just... Well... Never mind. Debating how paranoid Rail should be at this.
When in doubt, roll a
Every time
percentile
we
die.
Fair enough. Let's see.
Yeah.
Odds and evens.
I feel this isn't standard fare here, but I doubt he really cares that much.
Well, I mean, there's roasted meats. There's chicken and stuff like that. So there's actual breakfast foods. There's sausages and stuff. It's been cut up and it's made so that you can dip the bread in a sauce, or you can put the meat on the bread and then take a bite of it like that.
I'll have Sonic give.
And don't ask where the eggs come from.
I mean, Ingrid just knows she's not going to get the crispy seasoned insects when she goes back to living on the surface. They're harder to find done right, so she's getting her snack food.
The insect, it's some sort of large ant, and it's been just roasted and tossed in a variety of spices and savory powders. So it's very heavily seasoned. Huh?
I'd say it sounds like it'd be very crunchy. But...
Yeah, it is audibly crunchy, but it's also really well seasoned and pretty good protein too. This is your future, people. Enjoy it now. No.
You know what? Rail is going to try it.
I mean, it's not bad.
Some of the other things he's eaten. Once you've accidentally drunk out of the sample jar in the cold storage, nothing else seems quite so bad.
You said you're having lab troubles, Rail?
I may as well. Yes, there was... I'm not sure if it... A specimen that got
I'm gonna quickly
loose?
look around.
What?
If there's anybody in earshot.
But there's tons of people in the room. Like, no
They're
one's
like-
actively listening or paying attention to y'all, though. Most people are
Okay.
having their breakfast or talking to each other.
JJ, don't be
Something
paranoid. We're like
attacked me,
super far away from wherever y'all are at.
It never hurts. Something attacked me in the lab that I share with Faraday. I'm not entirely sure what it was, but it very nearly made me an ex-cleric.
So, to get your workspace back, you'll have to investigate and take a look later.
Yes. Pardon me. Force of habit, I was, You always have to worry about somebody else stealing your research. But it's a bad habit. I'm making an effort to break. I have to trust you all. If I want to win.
I mean, we don't have to say everything. But yeah, this does sound like something we probably need some trusted outside help with. Though I do
At the
agree
very
that we
least, some
probably don't
additional.
wanna, call the Boros Legion necessarily just yet.
At the very least, it's something I didn't want to have to deal with on my own.
Well, unless you're going to dissolve it back in a nutrient batch, I guess you'd have to let at least one of the Golgari see it anyway.
See, she has some talent. She
Are you pointing at Ingrid or are you pointing at Lesney?
great.
Okay.
Just like dissolve it in a nutrient bath. It's like great idea. Think of that.
Well, you're the sciencey person,
So,
right? They trained you on some stuff. I definitely saw you holding vials and things during our 2 weeks there.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not a scientist.
At least once.
I'm
Stuff changed
just
colors?
an assistant researcher.
And
That's a very important distinction.
wow.
she's
I'm
talking
gonna-
about y'all's company training.
During the training, you were trained with an alchemist kit, I believe.
Like, I mean, I can mix things, but I don't have the theoretical knowledge by any.
Please, Faraday, you're selling yourself too short.
Eh,
They don't give tentacles to just anyone.
I feel like that's patently false.
Wow. They don't successfully give tentacles to just anyone.
That's more on the mark.
Alright.
So I'm assuming y'all are sitting there having breakfast.
Yes. While this
Yes.
is going on, yeah.
So what's our next course of action?
Well, if I'm gonna be openly honest, I don't want to take on that creature again
Okay. Just don't say.
without all hands on deck, and we haven't really heard from Griggum
What?
yet. So
I don't suppose
and
either of you have a deck of cards on you.
I don't think I do, but let me take a quick look.
It would have to be a tarot deck specifically. This is out of character.
In this case,
Well, you can tell. There are a lot of things that you can tell the future. Bones, entrails.
Tea leaves.
Talking about the spell, though, it has to cost 25 gold.
Yes,
There
it
has
has to be a very nice deck of cards.
Tea leaves.
yeah, it has to be something like of high quality, arcane quality. So like
Yes.
gem inlaid sticks or etched sticks of like ivory or ornate cards or dragon bone or like a crystal scrying bowl or something like that.
So
I
you're
guess we're
saying
good.
if we take down the dragon,
I was about to say, at least we know of the source of one of those things.
Or something like silver-coated knuckle bones or something like that. You can't just...
Yeah, you
You
can't just like grab a deck of cards from the general shop and like start telling fortunes
Right.
with it.
Well, you could. It just
Yeah.
wouldn't have necessarily
Something
any
to pick up.
magical.
I I think if it's later, like after breakfast, we'll go ahead and see Emerson and see if we can talk about something that might block electricity. And I tell Rail about like the whole underwater supply area having like Misium coated floor tile areas.
Mm-hmm.
So like the whole floor
Ooh.
electrifies when it attacks. So if we can
That
break
is a concern.
if we can break that, we can stay close to it to combat, possibly. I mean, we can also just jump down to its level where it's not metal, but then that puts us on the same level with it.
Do we know it's not metal?
Yeah, it was
Y'all
ground.
saw stonework in the main part of the areas that y'all were looking down on through the grates.
As I recall, it wasn't just a jump down.
We might want
was,
the
hell, right?
It was about a 40-foot drop.
Yeah, you wouldn't just be like, huh, and like just land on your feet and be okay.
Well, we might want the advantage of it being on a different level than us and us taking shots at it rather than being right up in its claws, so to speak.
That
I think the constrained
something I'd rather
spaces.
avoid.
Yeah, I think the constrained spaces worked more to our advantage than its.
Well, the problem is the metal on the constrained spaces spread its attack. I think if we can break that metal, and we can also think about other things that might constrain or loop it or chain or something, but I think it's just if we break that metal, we'll gain a lot of advantage. Like, I think wood and rubber, so I was thinking Emerson might know someone who can make something.
Out of character, just how widely known are the properties of electricity in this world?
Make me a history check.
I actually asked that off game with
Me.
with our GM to find out because how prolific is it are.
That would be a 5 for me, so...
You know that things
I'm
move
not
when they get
sure.
shocked.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw, like, y'all saw Spanner grab, like, a little electric knob and get electrocuted? So you know that, like, some levels of electricity are safe.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if I know how much would things like grounding and going to Earth actually be known in game.
It's not your specialty.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, like, don't grab the sparky things.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I
Sparky
actually
things.
rolled. I do know I asked out a game if I would know, and I
Oh.
got the go ahead to check about electricity breaking.
Yeah, Zizva knows.
Yeah. I know that if you put a lot of current into a frog leg, so frogs run on light.
That seems wholly
It's
accurate.
science.
I wonder if we could get it to
Science.
zap itself. Okay, so I think we're getting direction.
It's been
So,
It's been
Leslie?
about an hour. Leslie comes by, starts picking up the ramekins as y'all finish, and she kind of looks at us. Yes, hon.
how would we get to see the Smith Emerson? Which way would that be?
Her shop's just a little north of here. She and Perter should be in there by now.
Thank you.
She said, no problem. Just look for the smithy. It's pretty obvious where it is. Just head north and listen for the banging.
Yeah, for sure.
Listen for the banging. Under other circumstances, that's a lot of fun.
I guess we're off.
Alright, so, y'all head on out of the dancer's skirt and travel north, and at first y'all think that she was being a little sarcastic, but as y'all head, like, a couple rows north, you start hearing, like, the sound of metal banging on metal, and, like, you know...
Yeah, it's
Smithy
pretty
work.
much like trying to locate the jackhammer. You're gonna...
Yeah.
A lot of smiths are actually were very like hearing impaired because of the sound.
So y'all follow through and come to a single-story, fairly large brick building. The door is like gone. There's no actual door or wood frame. There is a placard over it that says Farkeep Smithy. There's like plenty of windows around it without any glass to just like allow the heat to vent. Going inside, there's roughly hewn wooden furniture scattered throughout. Just places that you can sit down, set something down, stuff like that. It's not like finely crafted or anything like that. It's like someone grabbed a table out of a room and hauled it into another room. There's like some pots along one of the back walls with various like what looks like ground bits of metal and shards and shavings, various stones and crystals and ores. And hanging from like the ceiling and like above the pots is like hammers and tongs and things. And dominating like the right side of the room when y'all enter it in is this huge forge that is sculpted in the shape of a dragon's mouth with just this glowing red ember, this red embery glow from its mouth.
Now that's some style.
Hey guys, I gotta drop for a minute.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Faraday is staring at.
Oh, he just went off. Okay.
Yep. Faradir is dragon mouth mesmerized. It turns out he's actually a pyromaniac, and he's just watching the fire.
I was going to say more Faraday is distracted by the. I don't know. By the blacksmith's pipe.
Yeah. So, as y'all go in and take in the area, this not tall, but maybe a foot and maybe half a foot taller than Ingrid, so closer to Rail's height. Woman with very cropped gray hair, but not like dark elf or that natural gray. It's just like the kind of older woman gray, with a warm brown eyes. She has like kind of a round nose. She smiles at y'all when you wave. She comes in and waves. She's holding like a hammer in one hand, and she's got the smith's apron on as she's like shaping a bit of metal. You can see off helping her is a youngish man with just like very rough looking leather clothes. His hair is a mess. He's holding tongs and he's like just turning the metal slowly as the smith is working it.
Really?
Do you have a moment?
Stays looking up.
She kind of... Okay, she kind of like stops hammering after a bit and like wipes her brow, sets the hammer back on one of the hooks. They're all like at height where she can just like reach out and grab one of them and then hook it back without having to reach up or stoop over. She cleans her hands off with a rag hanging off of her belt as she walks over, and she just holds out her hand and says, Emerson Forcrag, how can I help you?
Ingrid will shake her hand and
roll me strength real quick.
Sure. I only have a -1 to it. Oh, that's on the... Okay. 17.
She's got a pretty good grip. She doesn't crush your hand, but you can definitely like feel that she has a hold of you.
So we talked to Rathin the other day, and he said you're the person that knows everybody in the town. So...
She kind of chuckles a little. Not everyone. I mean, the merchants come and go, and the people come and go. But, I mean, you don't always want to take your fight to the local magistrate. Sometimes you need someone with a level head to talk stuff out with, so...
Well, we figured even though we were just dropping by, we'd make your acquaintance. We have an adventuring group kind of from the surface, but I'm native down here, and We thought maybe you'd also be able to point us in the way of someone that could craft something that would block us some electricity.
She kind of makes a little bit of a face and looks around and so, I mean, maybe someone at the marketplace could have something. Most of what I do here is like, making tools and stuff for people and fixing things that get broke. Yeah, no, that's really something you would want to talk to an Izza about. We get one down here every now and then to check the water mains and stuff like that, but none of them's here now.
Okay, well, nice to meet you. I'm Ingrid, and this is Real and Fairdeer and Kay, and she points to the doggy.
Kay has actually wandered off and is like sniffing at the back corner of the room. Taking a quick look over there, there is a dog, a kind of an oldish looking dog, very like laying down, not wanting to do much, but she looks up at Kay and sniffs back at him.
Okay, fixed. That may be something I need to look into.
Yep.
So you don't have octopus dog babies?
Emerson kind of she kind of smiles and nods, sees you. Emerson, and she gestures back to the young man that was helping her, and he is gathering metals from the pots and filling them into a little crucible design and carrying it over to the Dragon Forge. That's Perter.
Alright. Perter?
Perter Lee. His papa dropped him off here a couple years back to learn how to work the metal, so he's just about done. Gonna have to find me a new apprentice soon. He's got a good eye though, so.
Always good to hear.
That's not all he's got. Sorry, just thinking out.
Well, she'll go ahead and wave to her and go, well, I guess I better let you get back to your work. Just figured we'd check in and say hi.
I know I've been doing a lot of out of character questions. Are they selling armor, leather armor here?
I mean, you could
Or
ask
is it
her.
just metal works? Like, just generally around in the
Are
area?
you thinking of getting rid of your old armor?
I mean,
Yeah.
looking around, you don't really see anything set up on display. You
Yeah.
can see like a few pieces that are waiting on a table nearby, and it's like an eating dagger, the head of a mining pick, and some other stuff. But you get the
Yeah.
impression that this is very much a place where an order is placed and it is made, and then it is delivered. And she doesn't
Yeah.
just make stuff to make it.
Yeah, it's not like video game logic. Fair enough. Okay, so, I've got a set of leather armor. Would you happen to know where the best place to, sell that would be?
She kind of looks. I mean, best bet's either the general store or the marketplace. Marketplace is best if you wanted to get something from out of town. General store is best if you want to get something that's produced locally or you don't want it to travel too far. Those are really the only places of commerce.
Okay, thank you.
The time when you have an NPC and you just ask them everything, even though it's not appropriate.
It's like, do you want to buy this? No.
Okay, so yeah, she'll take her leave so she can get back to work.
Okay.
What,
What?
Real?
Just Emerson and doesn't seem the type to do any goldsmithing on this stuff. This is more just
I mean, you
iron
can
work,
ask her.
not much else.
Y'all only see her
Alright,
working like heavy metals and stuff, but
Well, I don't suppose you do any goldsmithing type work on the side.
she kind
a
of.
little more decorative.
I mean, I can do some basic stuff. I mean, I'm not too good at filigree, but I can melt it and pour it into something if you want.
Well, I may have a commission for you later. Potentially. I need to make some... you familiar with dice games?
Yeah, they play a couple of them down at the Skirt. Perter's pretty good at them, I'm told, but I'm more of a drinking gal myself.
I may need to make some silver, I think. Silver knuckle bones. But first I need to get my hands on some silver.
Well, I can look into getting a mold or two started up. Once I get the mold made, then it's just a matter of melting, pouring, and casting.
How unusual is it to just use coins like back for silver instead of like buying a chunk? We would just go buy a chunk of silver with coins, right?
I mean, you probably won't get in trouble for melting down the coins, but they're covered
I'm asking as a player, but yeah. Like,
oh, well,
that would be
coins,
something.
you could melt coins down, but there are a lot of impurities in coins, especially since if they've been handled and stuff. A metal trade bar would be a ingot and would not have those impurities because it would have been smelted down and cleaned and then poured into an ingot.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's just stepping out of character for a second. This is Rail's planning to do is get about 25 gold worth of silver and get some knuckle bones. Because that augury spell does look pretty nifty now that I look.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad one. But yeah, no, it would just be a matter of going to some place that has trade bars and buying them. Trade bars being like, bricks of gold or sacks of flour, or I don't know why I'm saying trade bar, trade goods. Hi,
Okay.
it's a morning.
I mean, I think that a bank would probably have.
Oh yes,
solid-
you can definitely go to an Orzhov
And
bank and
I
get
think-
some raw silver.
That as a
Yay, the
now
Orzhov.
incorporated
Yay.
entity, that may be a little bit easier than if we were doing it as individuals. But
So I guess Ingrid's gonna kind of like pull Faradir and Kay outside just because she's not sure if they're good with social cues of when it's time to go.
I mean, Emerson seems pretty
Well, it's
happy
usually
to stand and talk. Perter is just
but-
working in the background, like getting the next batch of metal ready for the next assignment.
I'm going to pet the dog.
She kind of like thumps her tail, and this is like an old 15-year-old hunting dog. She's fairly friendly, but she's clearly not native to the Undercity. Just because you haven't seen a lot of wild dogs in caves.
Fair, I guess. I mean, wolves
Fair
I can
enough.
kind of understand, but
You don't see a lot of wild dogs underground. Emerson kind of looks over and whistles and says, "Her name's Fela."
hello, Fela.
She's got the dog kind of like sniffs at you, licks your hand, and then lays her head back down on her paws. She's just a tired old dog.
Yeah. Give her scritches.
Seems like a good
Then I
dog.
give Kay scritches so he doesn't get jealous.
Kay kind of leans in.
Very important when dealing with dogs. You don't want to show
Okay,
favoritism.
alright, so yeah,
I guess to the
Rail is
market.
good to keep moving around.
Okay, so y'all
I
are...
mean,
Alright,
Okay.
so the market... That is to the east. Oh, wait, y'all have been to the market already. So it's not...
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, it's not too far of a walk from Emerson's shop. Y'all make your way quickly to the market. It's a large circular plaza. There's several vendor stalls around the edge of it with a seating space in the center for people to sit and either negotiate or talk or hang out. There's how many vendors are there? It's about 8 o'clock at this point. So y'all see y'all see almost every stall has people either setting up or waiting around in it, starting to do sales and stuff.
And I think Fairdeer wanted to see what the mount looked like.
Okay.
Yes.
So y'all go.
Also, sorry.
What's
I
up?
was also looking into selling that leather armor because it is quite heavy.
Okay. Since Ingrid, you know where the Mount vendor is, we'll deal with that first. You lead Rail and Fairdeer if he's coming with over to him, and he's taking a look. He kind of recognizes you and says, "You here to pick her up?"
Not just yet. I was actually gonna show it off in case anyone else in my group was interested.
Okay, well, I mean, we got one more. He kind of like goes back into the little pin area and brings out this like large grasshopper-like creature, but it stands and walks on all fours as opposed to just like leaping with every movement. It has like a number of serrations along like its front and back legs, and its back legs are double jointed. A lot like a cricket's, where it has like leaping capacity, a natural sway back, and it just has like a saddle resting right at the curve of the back that's been cut and shaped for Ingrid. It doesn't have like a mouth where you could fit a horse's bridle, but it has like a little collar around its neck with two studs with leads attached to it for steering.
Okay.
It kind of.
Sorry.
I mean, if you ever want to get away from a tall strider, are some grub worms, are some ghouls, this thing's your friend.
He kind of like pets and it's like, yeah, they're good for crossing chasms and stuff like that. You can do about a 30-foot jump.
What kind of check is it to assess an animal's
Animal
like,
handling.
overall health?
It would be an
Animal
animal
handling?
handling, I think, or
Okay.
nature. Actually, nature, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was confused. Let's see. It's 15.
15. You're not super familiar with this type of creature. Most of your experience is with sea life. But its eyes seem very clear. There's no raggedness to its chitinous carapace. It has a very nice gloss. It doesn't look dull or matte. There's no chips or damage in it. Its antennas are kind of got their little fluff on it still.
Oh.
So it seems okay.
See, well, I know with a horse, a carrot is traditional. How do you introduce yourself to one of these things?
Oh, you're asking the vendor?
Yes.
Okay. He kind of like smiles and he pulls out a little handful of what looks like kind of grain, and he pours a little into Rail's hand and says, "Careful, don't put your fingers in the bitey hole."
Right.
It's like if you hold your hand out to it, it kind of pushes its face into it, and you can feel little pinches as its mouth scissors up the grain from your hand.
Yeah.
They
That
are
is
sunlight
really
sensitive,
Yeah.
but they will still handle errands as long as you don't really make them run. They're actually faster than a horse.
What do you mean by sunlight sensitive?
Well, their eyes, they're adapted to the Undercity. They live in the dark,
Eyes.
so...
Okay.
Yeah. They don't do too well in bright light. You can get it to move. It won't be happy with you, but you can get it to move and probably even run.
Okay, so is it just the eyesight, or is it skin, actually?
Well, he kind of taps on it, and it's like, it don't like the sunlight. A lot of folks down here don't do too well in bright lights. It burns a little, hurts, gets a little, itchy after a couple hours.
Gotcha.
I was kind of hoping as we expanded, we'd get an underground area to our base, and it would probably be super happy there if we did. It can run city errands, though. It just
Mostly at
wouldn't
night, I would.
wouldn't like to run for it. It could take its normal pace.
Yeah, you may have a little trouble steering it and stuff if it can't see where it's going. It won't want to go that direction.
Right. Where? How much did you say these things run?
This lady here was 60. And he kind of pets it on the back.
Can I go ahead and maybe even if one of them will help me, try to bargain for the other one?
I'd say go ahead. Yeah.
Any of y'all helping? Rail?
I'll help Sweet talk a little bit.
Okay, so I'm going to use my Horse Master thing. See if I can get one of them.
Okay. And this is at 50% if you get it, right?
Okay. This time I have it, so I have 16 and it's a 15 threshold.
Okay, so yeah, you beat it. He's like, he looks over at the other one and says, well, I hate to separate them. They're from the same patch. I'll tell you what. I'll go ahead and let you have that one for 30 gold.
I think
this is after y'all negotiate back and forth for a bit.
I think what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mark my gold back where it was and consider the team of them like a group investment, if y'all are okay with that.
Sure.
So that we can take them out in pairs.
So basically it's 1-to-1, right? Like, or in terms of writing?
They are large. They can handle a single person with no problem. They can handle a single person and a small person, a person of medium and a person of small at the same time without much issue. 2 medium creatures would be forcing it to make athletics checks.
Okay, and just out of curiosity, what is Griggum?
Griggum is small.
Okay.
I don't know if I actually did move it the other day. I think I'm good on where I'm at. I just need to move it from the horde. I'll audit my gold later to be sure.
Okay. He kind of pats and says, so if y'all ain't going out, do you want me to keep hold on them for you a little bit longer?
Yeah, I'll give him 5 more silver for the other one.
He kind of takes the coins, shakes them, puts it in his pocket. So, pleasure.
And what are these things called again?
They're called dromids. D-R-O-M-I-D, I believe.
Okay.
You should be able to see them. It's in my homebrew stuff.
If you go to the link on my character, they're under extras through the wiki. That's an option too.
Okay.
Man, this thing is going slow today. Alright, so he kind of leads them back after letting y'all get acquainted with the both of the dromids now.
But their speed's 60, so...
Yeah, 60 feet per turn. That's 10
so
foot a
if
second.
they're running for like a combat turn or something, that would be 120 speed.
Yeah.
That is pretty fast.
They can also do like...
The important question is, do they have names?
If y'all want to name them, y'all can.
I didn't name any yet.
Let's see here. Man, why is this going so slow? Like, I'm just trying to pull up the dromid so I can give you, like, the jump and stuff, and it's just sitting here spinning.
Now we just need a way to increase K's size. So you can ride on K.
Fair
and then we can pull maybe Griggum with me, because I'm a little smaller than Rail.
Actually, Griggum could ride K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Its long jump is up to...
an adorable image.
Okay. The dromid can take a standing leap. Its long jump is up to 30 feet, and its high jump is up to 15 feet, with or without a running start. So these things can jump.
Whoa. That is
Makes sense.
Just in case, can we ask him when he's going to have another one in stock?
Do you want to?
Yeah. Just in case, when would you have one more in stock?
He kind of has like a polish. He's going over their exoskeleton with things like looks up and stuff. I mean, I'll have to get them from a breeder. It could. I mean, if you want to order one, I can probably get it faster. Otherwise, like the next time I head out and come back, I'll have a couple more.
I kind of, if Rail wants to assist me in negotiating, want to try to use my last Hordes Master one to see if we can get a set of 3.
Before you do, does guidance work for something like this?
I believe it's not a skill check, is it?
It's a persuasion check,
Oh,
DC
yeah.
15.
It's a skill check.
Well, guidance is for ability.
Ability checks, yeah.
Okay.
It'll work
So
for like
I will
stealth and
cast
stuff like
guidance on Ingrid.
that.
Okay.
So, how are you negotiating this? Because I gave you one of like, oh, well, they came as a pair, I don't want to split them up. How are you negotiating him going to go and pick one up and come back here with it?
Potentially.
Well, if you're going
more
to
future
restock
business.
anyway, since your stable's now empty, if you could order us one where you had a guaranteed sell, would you be interested in selling us one more for that price?
Alright, make your persuasion roll.
Okay, so... Oh, yeah. Yeah, I should have it, because it's 11 plus my 4 plus my 2 for Hordes Master, so I should have 17.
Yeah.
Did guidance not happen?
That's
Yeah,
where
I
she
did.
got the
That
4.
matters, I guess. Oh, okay.
No, that's where I got the 1.
Oh, okay.
The 4 is the skill.
Oh, right, yeah. Having a face. He kind of keeps polishing it for a second. He's like, it'll take me 2 days to get there and 2 days to get back. You gonna be here in 4 days?
Probably.
If not, I can just make a separate trip down. I mean, rails all over Ravnica.
He's like, fair enough. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll set out in a couple hours. I just need to shut down the stuff.
I'm going to tap her on the shoulder. I'm starting to wonder how are we going to transport these things back?
On the train, or we'll just ride them back. If we can't. But most trains take
Train
animals.
is significantly faster than riding them back to the second site agency.
That is true.
It is
Yeah.
a little faster. When you take into account that I know most of the shortcuts and can get some advice on them, and that these are very fast beasts. But they usually take them on carts at the back of the train.
Okay, so that's a normal thing.
It's not regular, but you can make a request of, is it engineered to have a transport arrive that is capable of carrying large beasts. It'll be less comfortable for y'all, but the animals would be able to ride in it, no problem.
I mean, we all know we're going to end up sleeping through our transport back anyway when Asham gives us a call.
Probably.
One way or another.
So anyway, so we've thanked him and kind of moved to the center to talk, so that we're
Okay.
Yeah.
And you
They're
can
like one of
see
the
him,
same
he's like,
areas.
I'm gonna give some pets or the equivalent to the
the dromids.
dromids, yeah.
They kind of like make an animal handling check for me.
Okay.
Because you're touching their face, but you don't have food.
That's gonna be 23.
They push their hand against their kind of snout muzzle against your hand, and you feel like the little mouth pitches at the palm of your hand, like they're checking you for food, but they don't find any. But they don't bite you either. They just kind of ignore you after that.
Sort of whatever the equivalent of a nice massage is for insects.
And Ingrid kind of sighs in
Maybe
relief.
like behind the antenna.
You touch the
not
antenna,
scratching,
and
but-
they like.
Not touching the antenna, by the
Oh, okay.
joint.
Like
You know what I mean? Where it's a little more fleshy.
you
and
rub
kind of-
it, and they kind of like.
Ingrid kind of sighs in relief and says, "This might have been, and this might be the last of you having to carry us across caverns, fair dear."
I don't know about that. Also, K,
But
remember?
these could clear that lava.
Yeah, but remember about Kay.
They could.
That's going to be very difficult to get him on the saddle. We're going to have to figure out something about that.
At least, I won't have to be carried across pits and stuff.
And the true motivation is revealed. Sure. Though I do probably am going to start looking into, okay, how do we get Kay onto one of these things? And I'm assuming that Kay would basically, assuming we came to some sort of riding harness arrangement, would count as a second person, right?
You're looking for a doggy holster. For a mount.
Yeah, a little puppy sidecar.
I think it's more like Kay would get a saddle and Griggum could ride Kay.
That would be the least complicated version.
What's Kay's speed? Like 50?
30, I think.
My computer is having trouble with like D&D Beyond right
40.
now.
40?
40?
Pretty much Griggum is the same speed as Kay anyway.
Yeah, but he's riding on a dog, and that's...
Well, I mean, you'd have to get a saddle for
Yeah.
for Kay, and you don't have a saddle yet.
Yeah.
I mean, you can ask around. You could even ask the stable guy before he leaves town. I mean, you'd have to ask soon. He's like leaving town to go get more stock with his 120 gold he's got from these.
He's like actively in the process of like feeding the animals that he keeps here
So,
and putting food in.
let's start this weird moon logic conversation.
So you're reapproaching him?
Yeah.
Alright, he kind of looks up and says, anything else?
Okay, so hear me out on this one.
Okay.
And I have Cave like beside me, right?
Uh-huh.
So first of all, is there any way I could get like a sort of saddle harness arrangement for him so that he can ride with us on the Dormans?
Ingrid walks over and says, "For a goblin-sized rider."
You want a saddle for the dog to ride the Dromid and a goblin to ride the dog?
Oh.
No, you don't want
Not
both
at the same
dear.
time.
No.
My own money?
Okay, so you want a dog saddle for the Dromid.
Yes.
You really are ordering that, aren't you?
Yes.
I mean...
Okay, so here's the thing,
I'd have to make it custom, but I guess I could. I just needed it to... It's not going to be comfortable for the dog.
Yeah, but...
Idea. I thought you were just going to get a Griggum saddle for the dog.
It's going to take a lot more leather than a normal person's saddle.
How much leather?
60 gold worth, maybe? I'm going to have to do like a body strap for it to keep him from squirming.
You see, I have some leather armor that I'm not using, and I don't know if the materials could be recycled into this.
I mean, maybe parts of it, but... I mean...
She's going to whisper to Fairdeer that the dog riding the Dromid saddle is not a company expense.
Let's see here.
Well, I mean, I'd like to see her explanation of how we're going to get Kay across the chasms and stuff. Because...
You're going to carry Kay like you did before.
Yes, that's true. But hey, it's free to ask, right?
And Griggum will just leap across on the other mount.
Trying to find how much it's...
Yeah, we already said that the Doman can carry a medium and a small. Pretty much no problem.
Ah, there it is. Dromid. Okay, leather armor? Yes, leather armor, not studded leather.
Right.
He kind of looks at it after you show him, and he's like, I can't use all of it for it. I mean, I can use part of this, knock 10 gold off of it. The chest plate and the back plate will cover, like, the harness to hold the dog in place, but it's going to need some cutting, shaping, and I'm going to need to make straps and get some buckles and fittings. So, I mean, like, with the armor, 50 gold. Now, it'll probably take me a couple days since I gotta make a run back to my supplier and back here anyway, so...
Yeah, this isn't a today thing, just a planning for future thing.
Okay, I mean...
Obviously, we're giving you a lot of business, so just, trying to work that relationship.
Roll persuasion.
No, I'm just literally explaining this isn't for
okay, you're
now.
not trying to talk, you're not trying to sweet talk, okay.
So you're going to pay 50 gold for that. Are we still going to get
a
dog saddle for
why don't
Grigum?
we just do persuasion, just to see what happens.
He's looking at you like you're a little out of it right now, but yeah, go ahead.
How does a natural 20 do you?
What's your total?
20.
Like, you don't have any bonuses to persuasion?
Oh.
Oh, okay. He kind of looks at... it's a strange one, but, I mean... At least you're not asking for a harness for a person, so... Okay, I'll tell you what, y'all bought, like, 2 of my big sellers, and y'all giving me some more business. I'll go ahead and knock another 10 gold off of it. Because I can sell the leather scraps or use those for other harnesses from the armor, so we'll call it 40 gold. Sound good?
Yeah, okay. I don't have 40 gold.
You do, though.
No, I have 10. At least according
You
to mine.
took your 100 payout, right? Way back? Everyone got one? You didn't spend it on anything.
I guess that would be
Wait,
okay.
when did we get...
Yeah.
Back when I told everyone and posted the amounts in the chat, y'all haven't bought anything big. Everyone should have over 100 gold.
Most of y'all have at least 4 platinum.
Yeah, it was 4 platinum and...
Whoops. I forgot about
Okay, I'm scrolling back up to get it. I posted it on 2 different days because, Grigum forgot.
I do have platinum listed. I just didn't realize that was platinum.
Okay, so you probably added yours. Do you have platinum listed on your sheet, Fairdeer?
Nope.
Okay, I'm scrolling.
Keep in mind, when y'all hit level 5, I am doing an audit, and any accounting that y'all haven't taken, any funds or items that y'all have not recorded or taken into account are not going to be included past that accounting audit.
That's what you should have added before.
And you've been...
individually?
Yes,
Yeah.
everyone get that, I believe.
Okay.
4 platinum,
yeah, I
50 gold, 95 silver, and 50 copper pieces.
Yeah,
Y'all
I
got
pulled
quite a bit.
400 out of our inventory and we each took 100.
Yeah, y'all got quite the payout.
And that was right after the Is It job that we did the payout.
Oh, hold on. There we
I
go.
don't know
Sorry.
why I did.
Lost our background for a second.
I apologize. I don't know. I'm usually pretty good about that. Okay.
So your sheet showed like
Everyone
no
has
copper, no, like you didn't
Yeah,
have
it
any
was-
of it added. Okay.
Okay. I apologize. Okay.
For the record, y'all all
sure.
need to have added another rank to your Golgari renown as well.
Because Reeve's been telling tales about us.
He has.
So-
We should be at rank 2. Yes?
Yeah.
Ready for D&amp. Come on, can you
Okay.
hear us?
So I do have that recorded, just not that payout for some reason.
And Ingrid's
Okay.
like, and I also the goblin-sized saddle for the dog.
Alright.
For the dog to be ridden, which is hopefully a less outlandish request.
Are you talking to
Sorry, did you
the
say-
seller?
Our
Oh.
franchise is at rank 2, did you say?
No, not yet. Y'all, your Golgari rank
Okay.
is at 2. I missed this.
Oh, okay.
3 minutes ago, Arcadia Token Female, thank you for following us. Sorry, I've been having a couple computer issues and things are giving me, like, flubs. So, sorry I missed that. But
Gremlins. The gremlins are active.
appreciate the follow, really do. We're trying to get our numbers up. Okay, so, you were approaching the Hooba Juba.
I'd followed Fairdeer up, but then I'd just been kind of shaking my head a little bit while he was trying to do a dromed dog saddle thing.
It's basically going to be like a sidecar where you strap it to the side of the dromed like it's a travel pack.
Yeah,
we
with
haven't even seen
restraint
how,
harness. But the idea is that, yeah, just kind of out of character. My main thing is the fact that this thing can leap really helps a lot, because the fact that K cannot match my climb or my
it does
abilities,
make
and
sense.
if I carry him, I have to make a check.
It'll be mostly useful underground, because like if we're on like a city arch or something on the upper city, the main effect of sunlight sensitivity is the disadvantage on ability checks.
Yeah.
So we can give them guidance or something like that, but you don't really want them leaping arch to arch and on the upper city. But it would help a lot down here. Or, exploring dungeons like Coin Keep.
So you approach the person again, and he kind of like stops, and he gives you a smile like, okay, hi.
So I believe he also mentioned something before it got lost in translation about a saddle for the top of the dog. How much would it be to get a goblin-sized saddle for the dog to wear?
And he points over at Kay. For that dog?
Yep.
I'll need to do a little measuring, but I think I got something in stock that'll fit, say, 10 gold.
Sounds good. And she'll hand him the amount from company money for that one, because it's for getting Grigum a ride.
He takes the coins.
Also, sorry.
Go ahead.
Just to point it out, I have given him my armor.
He takes the coin, and like y'all have given him a lot of coins now. He's like carries them over and puts them into like his lockbox and closes up, and then he goes and gets like a little strand tape and starts measuring like parts of K to figure out, because he would have needed to get the measurements anyway. Bane nods, is like, I just need to do a couple adjustments on the saddle. It'll be ready in an hour or two. I'll do those, leave it here with the porter, and then head off to go and get the new dromids.
Yay!
Yeah. Then after I get back, I'll start working on this, the harness for him. He points at Kay. He still sounds a little unsure about it, but he's like, but yeah, no, okay.
Cool.
And Meryl, you said you've got some shopping other than our possible electricity errand. Do you want to do that next?
Sure.
Okay, well, let's take a real quick break because I'm getting a little dry throat from all the talking. So, everyone, welcome back to Second Sight Agency. I hope y'all have been having fun. Everyone that's watching and listening, I hope you've been enjoying the show. We're going to do a short 15-minute break, during which time we'll be doing a giveaway for this set of dice, and they will come with this nice velvet bag with the Second Sight 8 with the bonus roll logo on it. To one person in the chat to enter, it'll pop up and say like what you need to say to enter. I believe it is !dice. We can only ship to people in the United States right now, so only United States, only people in the United States can enter. We are working on figuring out international giveaway laws, but I have a lot of homework. I'm not being
both
facetious.
on that and in general.
But
Yes.
we'll get to you.
So, let me check to make sure this works. Come here. Give me... Okay. Oh, okay. Sure, why not? Okay. Custom giveaway. Dice giveaway. Okay, you have 15 minutes. If you're not in the United States, enter with the information it gives. And starting. Send out the announcement, please. Sorry, we're a little rusty on that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, exclamation point bonus to enter the raffle. We can only ship to the United States. Please only enter once. If you enter twice, it'll either not let you enter a second time or it'll disqualify you. I'm not sure how this thing works. But we will be back in about 15 minutes. Thank you. And I'm on. Hello, everyone. We are back. Looks like no one entered the contest again. That's fine. We'll just keep on trying to give away a set. We'll try and give away a different set later in case people aren't interested in the blue and gold. We'll do, like, maybe the cloud pink and white ones next week or something like that.
Well, there's pink and then there's clouds that are blue and white.
They're kind of cloudy looking.
Oh, okay. So just the pink ones.
Yeah, these. We'll do these next week. Everyone roll initiative. No, I'm kidding. You're fine.
So as we're walking to the market stall,
It's been a while since I got my.
Ingrid's gonna approach Rail. So, obviously, since you gave us the spy murmurs that Asham says he gave us, you've met him at least one more time than we have. How big of a trouble are we in if we just don't find this thing?
Best guess? Trouble. Doesn't seem
Okay.
like the person we want to,
Just in case, maybe next time you give us a magic item from someone else, tell us who it's from? I should have known better. I should have known you were nearly broke because you were waiting on the armor. But maybe next time.
next
I
time.
doubt it would have
Alright.
made any difference, but okay.
What did Rail say?
Give me that again, Meryl.
So next time. I was just kind of next time, alright.
So, what are y'all looking for in the marketplace now?
I think we were
Well-
either looking for divination or for just silver or something, right?
Sure.
Alright. Rail wanted to just find. He wants to make an augury.
Okay.
So.
So, what kind of augury tool are you wanting to make? You mentioned silver knuckle bones.
Yeah, I mean. just as something that would be appropriate, but still fancy enough to be worth enough money.
Okay.
Just buy some old school knucklebone type things, and get them coated in silver.
Okay, so you want a dice set and silver to coat them in, not just like solid silver.
Yeah. I kind of meant like literal knucklebones, not just like gaming dice. Go a little more old school.
Go ahead and make me a investigation check.
I guess I'll help.
Okay. So is that with advantage?
Yeah, if he's helping you, it's with advantage.
Okay.
I'm kind of following along in case I get materials, but I'm not sure if I am.
21.
21? Alright. So, you kind of take a moment to look around, and you spot, like, off in the distance, a stall that's selling, like, amusements to kids. Like, their kids are getting pinwheels and little toys and stuff like that. And you think that's probably a good place to head for that. So, you walk on over there, and there's this kind of matronly woman. She kind of smiles at you, and it's like, good day, how may I help you? Looking for something to keep you busy?
Manner of speaking. I'm looking for, some specialized... looking to make some specialized tools. And... Ow. Sorry. Yeah, I, find myself in need of some...
You broke up there a little bit, sorry.
Oh. Sorry, this is just like... What's the stall look like again?
It's like a wooden stall. It's maybe 4 feet wide. There's like shelves of like children's toys, dice, packs of cards, little game sets and stuff like that, musical instruments.
Right. I misheard a little bit there. Right, so you could say that. I don't suppose you have anything. Oh. I guess classical style. I mean, dice are nice and all, but sometimes you just can't get over the feel of something a little more old school.
I mean, like, I got...
Really throw the bone.
I got some... okay, what were you saying? I can't...
Just, when you want to really throw the bone.
I mean, I got a couple old sets that, like, have been sold yet. I mean, are you looking for something specific? Just, like, she kind of, like, turns around a bit and grabs, like, a little box full of, little dice sets, and she starts setting them down, and they're just, like, 4 or 5 dice per set. It's enough to, like, for 3 people to play a game against each other. It's like, okay. She yells up, "This is my oldest one, I think," and she unwraps it. And it's just, like, ivory. But not, like, the good ivory. It's just, like, carved bone. I'm not sure what animal it's from. It's been here for a while. They're not, like, they roll true. I tested all of them myself. Every number's come up at least once.
That's a good way to test. I don't suppose you mind if I... if he rolls a...
She shrugs and hands him over. Sure, no, go ahead. It's like, are you looking to get, like, a game going or something like that?
More that I want something to entertain myself.
Yeah, well, that's not bad. Dyson passes the time pretty good. You can make some decent money if you're lucky, too.
I'm just gonna go look over at the cards and see if any of them have Undercity themes.
Roll me
There's
perception.
luck and then there's... Yeah, alright.
21.
21. You see a couple different packs. There's a they're all sealed in these kind of waterproof boxes to keep them dry in case, like, you drop them in water or something like that, with different etchings on them. You see a nice little box that has the Golgari Guild logo on it.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't really tell, like, what's inside of it. What did you do, Meryl?
I'm just thinking. These are... So they're just like basic six-sided...
Yeah, they're six-sided knuckle dice. They're six-sided bone dice. They're not like high-end or ivory or anything like that. She kind of looks at them.
That works nicely.
Silver and a half.
Sorry, say that again?
Silver and a half. 1 silver, 5 copper.
You really broke up.
4.5
copper.
1 silver, 5 copper.
I don't suppose... You don't have anything a little more... I mean, I am going to be traveling with the... Most likely. You don't have anything more durable, do you?
I mean, we got some metal ones. They'll fuck up a table if you roll them on too much, though.
Right.
What kind of metal?
These are, just, steel. She picks it up and she shows you just like a kind of iron steel. A couple dice are made out of iron, a couple dice are made out of steel with like just pips drilled into the metal. They're basic, but they don't deform or anything like that. Just don't roll them too hard or you'll break something.
How much do those run?
She looks and it's 5 silver for these.
I'm going to hold up the pack of cards and go, cards?
She kind of takes it and looks over and checks and is like, oh, right, yeah, this is the, okay. Yeah, that'll be just, let's go with 5 silver, and, yeah, I'll just round it down to 5 silver for you. Normally I do like 5 silver and 6 copper, but y'all seem like good kids.
I'll take the cards for now. She figures she can get them leather backed or inlaid or something if she wants to increase their value.
Okay, so you now have a playing card set. Make sure to note that down in your inventory. Mm-hmm. She looks over at Rail and holds up the dice.
I suppose... Yeah, these will do well enough.
Alright, so you're getting the metal dice?
No, the bone dice.
The bone dice? That will be 1 silver and 5 copper.
1 silver and 1...
5.
Sorry, how many copper?
5. 5 copper.
5. Okay. Oh, your audio keeps cutting out. I'm not sure why. And I have a set of bone dice.
Yep. 1 dice set. Okay.
So playing cards are 5 silver?
Yeah, the playing card set is 5 silver.
Yeah, I'll get one.
Peer pressure for Fairdeer now.
She kind of like grabs just like a playing card set and passes it over to Fairdeer. 5 silver, hun.
Yeah. Just as a note, are these like reasonably durable cards, or are they like...
Are you asking her?
Just like in general, like, because I'm...
If you're taking a look at them,
and feeling it.
Go ahead and make me an investigation roll.
Fair enough. 14.
14? You kind of open the box. The box itself is treated so that it's waterproof and seals tightly, but the cards inside are just basic card stock. They look like, if you submerge them, they'll start to get some water damage.
I open mine to check the patterns.
Okay. You pull it open, and it has like a lot of different mushrooms and fungus, and like instead of clubs, there's little skulls on one of the sweets.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and get a pack.
Okay. She hands you the pack back and holds out her hand for the 5 silver.
Give her 5 silver.
I'll ask her if she's got any sealing wax. Well, here.
I mean, not really. I mostly sell like
Okay.
toys and stuff for the kids. Couple people come in here to get dice sets for like jacks or not jacks, iron spikes.
I'll tell Faraday we can probably get some sealing wax to
Best bet for
seal up our
that's
cards a bit
probably at the general store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll ask her if she knows any of the stalls around that handcraft things, kind of like a tinkerer.
Go ahead and ask her.
Do you know anyone at the stalls around that does handcrafting things, like a tinkerer or like a pot and pan repair type person?
She kind of looks around. So I don't see them here. Most people in the town go to. I don't know if you met her. Her name's Emerson. She's the local smith, but she's got like some skill tinkering and fixing stuff.
The people that need other stuff made, like door stoppers and stuff.
Like
In rock.
wood or
Maybe wood, maybe a carpenter?
I mean, most of the construction stuff's done by out-of-town folk that come in and they're hired. If you're looking to get something fixed, Emerson's probably your best bet. If you're looking to get something made and it's not made out of metal, you could probably talk to a couple of the people around here and order it, or see if they got it at the general store.
Okay, thanks. I'll kind of ask around.
No
See
problem,
then.
hon.
Thank you so much. Okay. Now I at least have something for downtime.
Can Faraday learn rituals and stuff? He can't, right? He'd have to take the feat.
He can learn rituals, but he can't cast them.
Okay.
And they have to be ranger spells.
I was just curious.
Okay, so y'all have picked up amusements in the form of a set of dice and some playing cards. Y'all bought another dromid and talked to the person who handles selling pack animals into going and getting another one and bringing it to y'all.
Yep. Episode 14, Retail Therapy.
Hey, shopping episodes are fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I think... Oh, go ahead.
Huh? Oh, no. As I was about to say, I think those are some of my favorite games.
So I think I'm going to walk around and look for anyone that looks like they build stuff
Like,
at the stalls, because I'm still trying to get stuff made to like block electricity, like some wooden or some rubber, kind of like even wooden tie-on shoes or something.
Yeah, I don't think rubber
Sandals.
would really be a thing.
rubber is a thing, but it's not super common, especially in the Undercity where there's not a lot of trees.
And the
Some-
rubber would just probably dissolve.
Some wooden and some rope, like tie-on shoes or something, could be a good
I mean,
option.
concrete would work.
Okay, go ahead and make me a investigation check.
I switched to using the lid because it was less noisy, but I don't like it because it gets stuck on the end.
Mhm.
Okay. 18.
18?
Mhm.
Let's see here now.
See, I switched to using the lid, but anytime I roll too hard, I get it stuck on the outer edge.
Ah,
So I have to
okay.
re-roll.
Let's see here. Okay, so you kind of wander around. You do eventually come to about, let's see, maybe after 10 minutes of just walking the stalls, a person that's selling like armor.
Mhm.
that he may be your best bet for. He has like a couple pieces of medium armor and a few like heavy armors.
Good day, sir.
Looks upside. Yeah, how can I help you?
Well, we've got to work near some, is it machinery? And I'm looking for some safety gear, because you know they won't provide it.
Safety and these don't exactly go hand in hand, honey.
I was looking for something like maybe some flat wooden shoes we could tie on with rope or something. There will be a lot of electricity near there.
I mean, I mostly deal with like armor and stuff like that. If you want some wood, though, and he points over to a little bit farther down. There's Jensen there. He's got he does trading. He brings in like trade goods, lumber, stuff like that. You can probably get some planks off of him.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so now it's time to go talk to Jensen.
Okay, so he kind of watches you go.
Oh yeah, we do make a bit of a weird group.
Well, you came up past him.
I just love the fact that the Golgari isn't realizing that one of the most common grounding elements is earth. Dump a bunch of soil.
Down the whole hallway, we had to run over 100 feet.
Yeah, you have prestidigitation.
That
Just get really dirty. Cantrip.
That might be
Reverse prestidigitation. Reverse prestidigitation. Alright. So you head on down the way to Jensen, and this kind of very portly looking human. It's like he's got some roast meat and he's eating out of a little ramekin like you see a lot of the people do, because it's starting to get like in the later afternoon now at this point, because y'all been walking around talking to people and shopping for a bit. He's like, he looks up. Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Jensen. We heard that you bring in some trade goods.
What you looking for? I got salt and I got some canvas. He kind of grabs a book and he leafs through it. There's linen, cloth, saffron.
Oh, we might be looking for some thin planks of wood. I don't know if you do any custom cutting on them.
I can get you some lumber pieces, like if you want to do construction on a house or make a door or something.
Can you get me a piece that's about half the size of a door and thin, but a good quality and flexible? Like something that won't just snap.
I don't have anything like that right now. I'll have to send a message. It'll take me, let's see here now. It'll take maybe 3 days to get here. It'll be a gold for the wood and another gold for, having it run down here fast.
And do you have anything that would punch a hole in it?
I'd mostly do like trade goods and
maybe a small saw.
I think there's like a smith or a tinkerer around here that could possibly lend you something like that. You want to buy a pig?
We could have asked them.
Well, I'll order the wood from you for now.
Okay. It's like this 2 gold. Could I interest you in like maybe some ginger? He pulls out like just maybe a pound of ginger shavings. Is it?
Jesus. Having worked Brody, that's a lot of ginger.
I'll look over at Rail. Are you still interested in finding a bit of silver?
I am.
This might be our guy.
He kind of
maybe
looks
I'll
back and forth between. Yeah, I got silver. I got copper, and I got gold. 1 pound ingots. He kind of reaches back behind him and pulls over a block. And he pulls open. And pulls out. He sets down a copper ingot. He sets down a silver ingot, and he sets down a gold ingot. They're all about like this big and maybe a pound or so. The heavier metals are a little bit larger, and a little bit smaller, and the lighter metals are a little bit larger. It's like,
Let's see, 75 coins I think was a pound. So if he wanted 25 coins worth, he'd need about a third of a pound, right? Something like that. To do 25.
Sure how that works.
You can get
Gold worth
50
of
gold.
silver?
You can get 50
Oh, wait,
gold
never mind.
pieces from a 1 pound of gold. Because they're not big
So if
coins.
he's doing
They're like,
silver, yeah.
yeah, they're like. It would be. He holds up and it's like.
Okay.
He holds up the 1 pound thing and silver and is like, this would be.
He wanted me to come and then so much pain and so
Yeah, pound of silver for say 5 gold, 5 gold, 5 silver.
yeah, my chocolate. Yeah.
You might have to do more than silver coat him, Rail.
Yeah. Something we haven't really thought to ask. There aren't any stalls or anything like that around here.
Any what stalls?
Tools, clerical
I mean,
things that might be useful.
are you asking Jensen or are you just?
Sorry, what was that?
Okay, are you asking Jensen?
It's like we've been kind of wandering around, like, oh, we'll buy some stuff. We'll look. We didn't really ask, like, is there anybody who sells magical tools or like divinatory?
I mean, this is a pretty
specifically
small...
high quality stuff.
Let's see here. That would be a.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Hold on. Well, actually, there is a slight chance.
I figure it can't really hurt.
Let's see. No. Look around. There's a couple people that are selling, like, reagents and stuff like that. That would be used for, like, filling a spell component pouch. But there's no, like, magic item sales or spellcasting services being offered by anyone here.
Do they look like they have spell scribing ink, or is that a go buy and check thing?
You would have to go by and check. Most of the stalls have a few things like displayed, but for the primary part, they have their stuff in the back and behind the stall or behind them, and a ledger that keeps track of like what they have. Because you don't want to stack a bunch of stuff up in the middle and then have someone run by, grab something, and then sprint off while you're trying to get out of the stall. So, Jensen kind of like holds the silver bar up, waves it back, and says, "Yo, want it?"
I suppose.
5
That
gold.
is a little bit.
Go
You
ahead.
can always add an
Oh, those
inlay
might be-
later on the numbers and add more components that way.
Yeah, I don't know if we need that entire. I don't suppose you'd be willing to give a discount if we take the whole thing.
I mean, it's a solid bar.
Yeah, I don't think there's really a market for 1/4 of a bar.
So I can sell you the bar.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Go ahead and make a persuasion roll.
Sorry, say that again.
Make a persuasion check.
This time Ingrid gives guidance, because she's not used to having it.
Wait, you can cast
It
guidance?
has guidance?
I do after my reforge.
Oh, right, yeah, from your Book of Shadows. So you're reading
Alright.
the book, and you're like, don't fuck it up.
What's the checking?
Persuasion.
Oh, plus guidance.
Yeah.
So that is. Let me find my D. There's the D4. 11.
11?
Not the best roll, not the worst roll.
He kind of starts sliding the gold and this copper bar, or the bronze bar back. It's 5 silver and, yeah. Or 5 gold and 5 silver.
I was about to say, dang.
You're
I
close.
mean, I'll buy it for 5 silver.
Just a quick question. If the 5 silver one is, if the one that's silver is 5 gold, the one that's gold, that would be about 50 gold?
Yes.
So she looks over at Rail, split in 2. We could both coat something, and it would just be gold instead of silver? Just a thought.
There's a thought.
He kind of leans forward a bit and says, if you want the gold, maybe I could do a little bit of a deal for you on that. He kind of starts nudging the gold bar forward a little bit more. And so say something like, I mean, normally I'd be like 55 gold, but I'll do it for like, 50 gold, 8 silver.
10 gold?
For a whole gold brick? No, man.
I thought that sounded a little.
No, he said 50. He normally charges 55 gold, but he's willing to sell it to you for 50 gold and 7 silver. What did I say?
Let's just go with the silver. Silver.
He shrugs.
You sure? We won't be able to use it for that.
Well, I mean,
have
it's
that
in its raw form.
Well, you would only need half of it. We'd split it.
As a
If you're
reminder,
splitting it, you might as well take it out of party funds.
Well, that's a private item. I don't think that.
As a reminder, someone has jeweler's kits, which can be used to increase the value of art objects or even create art objects, which would function for this.
We wouldn't have to take it to Emerson?
I believe I have very specific rules that I wrote up about some,
Okay.
because someone was asking me, can I use this to increase the value of gems? And I was like, yes, you can use this to increase the value of gems, and you can use this to create and increase the value of art objects.
Yeah, I mean, for
Okay.
a jeweler, yeah.
Well, we need, if we do silver, we might be able to increase the price through doing art, but that's a little bit of a risk too. I definitely have to get your help with crafting it. We might be waiting a few days downtime though for stuff we've ordered to come in. If you're willing to help me craft, we can try silver and try to increase the price.
As a note, that's a pound of silver. If you're just covering the surface area of it, I think you're gonna have enough silver to have a few screw-ups.
Well, the thing is, it needs to have like a certain value cost as a base. That's why I was suggesting gold.
Right, but I think that either way, if you're buying a pound of gold and just coating it, and then the value intrinsically is like inlay work and stuff like that from an artisan, which works. But as far as the raw material, I don't think you're going to use half a pound of gold to coat one set of
Very, very.
Well, it has to be for my
Nice.
stuff too.
Yes, 1 pound of gold.
Mhm.
Half a pound of gold. That's a lot of gold. If you're melting it down to a liquid gold and you're coating an object,
Half a pound of gold is going to be like a nugget.
really?
Gold's pretty heavy.
I mean,
Okay. A pound of gold. I'm sorry.
like a pound of lunch meat is like this. And so a pound of gold is going to
I
be
see
like,
what you're saying now. Okay, I'm
Not
sorry.
very
I was
well.
thinking. Sorry.
Yeah, gold coins are pretty thin and pretty small. Most of the coins are pretty thin and pretty small. People are always like, "Oh, gold coins, it's like that big." It's like, no, think quarter. It's about the size and shape of a quarter.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I'm looking in the wrong place for the notes on the jewel thing because
Oh, I have it.
I don't have. Okay, if you can resend that in a bit, just
Sure, I'll drop it into the thing for you.
Okay. But I think either gold or silver, we could probably make it work. We could get some jewel dust for inlay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like gold or silver better?
Alright, I dropped the document. Rail, I believe she was asking if you prefer gold or silver.
I personally prefer silver. If you need the gold,
We
go for
can
that.
do it another way. We can get like some gem dust or something. She turns to him and asks if he has any gem dust, and then she looks over at Rail and she's like, "What's your gem poison?"
She's asking Jensen.
If he has any gem dust first.
Yeah. Well, I would want. I mean, I got some gems. What kind of gem do you want?
What do you have on that pretty dagger of yours, Rail? Ruby?
I don't
The Ravenhead
want to
dagger?
mess around with this. Sorry?
The Ravenhead dagger or another? I can't remember if he has another dagger.
Well, I have a dagger that needs some investigation, and I don't want to mess.
So, let me get
do have
to...
Got it. Pop my neck. Sorry.
I can't really open documents on here, so I'm trying to get it open.
Oh, I can tell you, like, the thing of it. It would be a DC 15 intelligence check to design it, and then a DC 15 dexterity check to create it. And you would use half of the cost. So, for example, if you're making a 25 gold piece bracelet, it would cost you 13 gold to produce.
Okay, so basically we need to get 13 gold worth of supplies for our stuff each, so 25 total, right?
Yeah.
So if we get 5 gold pieces and silver to split, then we need, say, like a gem worth, or 2 small gems worth 10 each.
Yeah, that would do it.
And then we could put 1 gem on his dice, say like on the 1 spot or something, and then 1 on, like, or I could do dust for the cards or something.
You could dust the gems and have them inlaid in the pips or the arcane runes or whatever you want.
Okay, so what kind of gem would you like if you did that with silver dice?
So you kind of cut off the. I only heard silver.
To get our augury stuff to cost 25, we're gonna need some gem dust or something to increase the value. And I'll probably need your help putting it together. But what kind of gem do you want for yours?
I'm more than a little fond of.
Of what?
So I'm more than a little fond of.
I believe he's saying rubies.
I heard the R. Rubies? Yes, no.
You keep on breaking up after the first syllable, Meryl. Were you saying rubies?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I was saying. I'm sorry. The audio is kind of cutting out.
I love how it's perfectly timed to cut out the one word we need from you.
Yeah. I don't think I have any particular
rubies.
gem stuff on mine at all to begin with. So, yeah, I'll take 10 gold rubies
He kind of
if he has them,
is okay. He
and
kind
the
of
silver bar.
he leaves the silver bar on there. It's like, okay, that's 5 gold and 5 silver for the bar. And he grabs a little pouch by his side and he like starts kind of sorting through it. It's like, ruby? I mean, do you just want it to be red? Because he pulls up like maybe a ruby that big. He's that's worth maybe 10 gold.
Do you have 2 or just 1?
He sets it down and he like pulls out another one. So he holds them down. Yeah, they're roughly the same size. And so yeah, here you go.
Go ahead and appraise them kind of real quick.
Go ahead and make a intelligence check. Add your proficiency since you're proficient in jeweler's kit.
I need to throw it right in the middle, and I can't. There you go. Nope, when I finally did it, I got a 4.
For they look real. They look like rubies. He's like,
yeah, 12.5 gold each, Rail?
I heard none of that.
Huh?
I saw him give the thumbs up though, so I'm going to assume that that's a yes.
That's why I.
Yeah.
And I'll ask him if he's got a small
5 gold.
piece of leather, like just enough to cover like 4 cards. Like a little exotic small lizard skin or something.
Leather,
If not, I'll
that's
run
a
back to the
really
armorer
small- That's
guy.
really more like, he kind of like flips through his books and says, I mean, I got like maybe a yard of cow leather.
How much is that?
That'll be a gold.
I'm gonna actually run back to the armorer guy and see if he has a small scrap that I can buy, I think.
Okay.
We'll take this for now, and I'll get back to you.
Alright, that'll be 20, 25 gold and 5 silver.
Okay, so... let's see... So I guess that's 2.75 gold. I mean, yeah, 2. 2 silver, 5 copper more each, Rail.
I heard the copper. Can you write it? Just because the audio's.
Yeah, Twitchy. I said it. Twitch, sponsor us.
Okay. I guess that was his markup on the trade bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which makes sense because you don't usually sell them for the actual amount with trade bars. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna run back to the armor guy, which was really close by.
Yeah, the armor is just up. The way he like looks up when he's like, hey, everything
I have
okay?
a small scrap of leather, like just like this much for sale. From a side piece you were cutting. I don't need to buy a whole yard over there.
He kind of sighs and rummages around through like his pile of scraps, and he like sets out like maybe a 5-inch by 5-inch sheet of tanned leather, like for hide armor. So will this do? 5 silver, 6 silver, 6 silver.
Okay, thanks. Mostly she just didn't want to carry around all the extra stuff.
Alright, so note down what you have bought Faraday, are you doing any shopping while they're doing this?
I don't think so, to be honest. I think I'd rather get rid of stuff than acquire new.
Well,
I'm gonna
you
have
got rid of your
extra
armor, didn't you?
cards.
Yeah. I think I'm good.
Okay, just checking.
So Real, did you want to meet the local lady since you were asleep before?
The local.
I didn't get that.
Well, I think I heard you. Or did you say the local?
Yes, Lady Farkeeper. You didn't get to meet her since you were asleep.
Oh.
I'm not sure
Yes,
if you
okay,
wanted
that does
to.
make. Yes, no. Never mind. Yes, let's go meet the local. Rail was thinking.
Okay, so y'all are going to make your way back to the northern end and Farkeep Manor.
Okay, we're going.
Pulling my paperwork.
7, 7.
Where is that? Okay. So, y'all approach the north, and it's getting nearly noon now. People are starting to kind of take their lunch breaks and stuff like that. As y'all approach, the manor still looks much as it did the first time y'all came in, tall, dark, imposing. There's several undead that are just kind of wandering the field or kind of almost standing guard. They like see y'all approach and ugh.
Hello, guards. The lady said we could check in anytime, and she didn't get to meet our companion from the invitation. So we thought we'd stop by.
The kind of undead guards just like look at y'all with no
Symbol.
and they turn away from you.
Okay, so head up.
Okay, y'all climb the stairs to the front porch area, and the door swings open. The tall, thin, dark elf-looking figure that y'all had met previously with the bandages wrapping his forearms stands inside and looks at y'all, and then opens the door a little bit wider and steps to the side.
I hope we're not intruding. Our companion was ill at the time we met, so I thought we would bring him by to meet also.
The figure kind of turns to look at Rael before turning away and like closing the door behind y'all, walking down the hallway towards where the library was that y'all met in previously.
And what was your name?
Pleasure.
He kind of stops and he looks over his shoulder. And then he just turns and continues on. Oh, he gets to the door to the library, holds it open for you.
I'll go in.
So inside it's much the same. There's like tall bookcases and shelves, or tall shelves and bookcases with a little ladder for reaching the higher points. There's several chairs arranged around within the room, around a center table. A black gem sits on the table with it's kind of almost haze of energy around it. But yeah, there's no one in the room.
Probably best if you don't try to ask to read the books like I did. It says it's a very private library.
Good. I will keep that.
Okay, so... Alright.
Interesting looking place.
So as y'all enter the room, the figure closes the door behind you.
I'll nod at him and take a seat for a moment.
Right. So, are this many? Those guards at the they were not quite lit.
Well, no, most city leaders in Golgari that have rot farms are strong necromancers within the guild. It's how you maintain a city labor force and stuff.
Right, of course, slipped my mind. But they aren't the arg eat brains.
Oh, as long as you make sure their spells are good every once in a while. That's why many city leaders don't leave their city often.
Good.
Of course, not
Alright,
so with the guy that let us in. He doesn't have to have the refreshing spells like they do.
All right. This how did you did you meet this lady of your own will before? Did she summon?
She invited us up, but she did say that we could come back, and she did say that we had an invitation to stay, but I chose the inn because I thought Grigham and Reeve would be way more comfortable.
Right.
I'm figuring she's probably made us wait just a little while because of the unannounced drop-in.
That makes sense. To say that does make sense. But then again, who knows? Maybe she. I don't know.
She
After
could be
about
out in
20 minutes of waiting and making small talk, the doorway opens, and this youthful-looking dark elf comes in wearing a high-neck gown with a shelf of fungus that rises up across her shoulders, and like you can barely see up to the back of her head as kind of an almost crown, shape. She looks over the group of y'all, wearing this very formal black dress. Approaches the table, lifts the black stone off of it, and sets it into place at the bodice of her chest piece. She takes a slight breath and says, please forgive the delay. Unfortunately came while I was in the middle of dealing with several issues that have cropped up throughout the night. How may I help you?
I hope you don't mind the more ad hoc social visit. You didn't get to meet one of our members, so I just wanted to bring him by.
She turns to look at Rail and nods. This is the one that y'all mentioned was unwell, correct? Well, I am glad to see you are feeling better.
I appreciate it. Good to be on my feet again.
Is there something I can do for you, or was this simply a social visit?
I think it was mostly a social visit. I am getting closer to the point where I could perhaps help with raising a couple undead myself, though. If we stay around the city too many days, I might ask the favor of maybe making a round with you while we're here and giving it a try.
She kind of makes a slight smile and is like, I appreciate it, but between myself, the Whitfist, and Jorgal, we are quite well handling the maintenance of the workforce.
Okay. She nods and goes, well, I guess it was mostly a social visit just to introduce you to Rail, so...
Yes, again, a pleasure to meet you while I'm...
She kind of walks over, and standing in front of her, like, getting a look at her. She looks very youthful. Like, she looks like she may just be just now hitting her early teens, possibly getting out of it. She takes Rail's hand, shakes it lightly, and says, welcome to my manor. Welcome to my city. You and your friends did us all a great service and protected many of our folks. Please, do not hesitate to ask if you need something.
Oh.
Her hands are ice cold.
Yeah, it's Rail's expression just kind of sure it was yes, just happy to help with civic.
So we appreciate it. We feed Ravnica, and so by helping us, you have helped Ravnica. And she is not letting go of your hand.
Yes. Jeez. Help me. Not out loud.
We hear it over the spies murmur.
You can actually speak telepathically with the spies murmur.
Oh my god.
Lady Farkeep.
She turns and looks at Ingrid, letting go of Rail's hand. Yes, my dear.
Sometime before we leave the city, would it be possible to have dinner with y'all before we leave?
Oh, most certainly. Please, just give us a notification that you will be coming by, and we will have a meal prepared. Yes, we will be glad to.
We're going to be here for a few days preparing some stuff, and I told you we were going to go after that big lizard to the west, so I just thought it would be nice before we leave, if you didn't mind.
We would be overjoyed. Give us let us know when it will work for you, and we will have our family attend, and you can meet everyone in the Farkeepers.
And Ingrid gets like super excited about that all of a sudden.
Yay.
Okay, so I guess she'll be like, well, I don't want to delay you any further. I know this was too impromptu for a normal visit. Next time I'll probably hand Jorgal a card or something to plan out.
She nods a bit. Just communicate with him, and he will schedule everything. If there is nothing else...
No, that was it.
He says, it was a pleasure to see you again, Ingrid. She turns to Faraday. Faraday, thank you very much. And then she removes like the black stone that she had set in place and sets it back on the table before turning and leaving the room silently, closing the door behind her.
I think she liked you, Rail.
Yay. Alright, let's
There's a creak as the
Let's
door
be
opens,
about.
and that
Alright, I'm
gaunt
sure we
elf with the bandaged hands holds the door, leans in. Do you need a moment?
No, we're ready.
He nods and steps to the side, gesturing down the hallway.
I shall head out and say sorry for the impromptu meeting to him also.
He kind of watches and then opens the door outside for y'all.
Okay.
Yeah, heading back out.
Right, I'm sure we have business to be about. Let's be about it.
Pestering the nobility. As y'all exit, the door closes behind you, and the sound gets like several of the undead turning towards the doorway.
Yeesh.
Ingrid just waves to him and kind of leads the group out.
They don't move from their post. But, okay. Y'all exit back into the city proper.
You know, Faraday, they really like, if you ever have to work around them, they really like the Zaldi stories. That's where I got started reading the stories, is, you know, reading while we're on task and stuff.
So, just as a note, if I die and there's
Right.
no possibility of resurrection, could you cremate me? Just I know this
That's
is kind of
wasteful.
bad
Don't you want to be
food.
part of Ravnica's food source?
Chain.
Yeah, the way you
not.
put it is a little bit has a worse implication.
For the record, while y'all know that the majority of food comes from Ravnica's rot farms, with the exception of Ingrid, none of y'all have seen a rot farm, I believe.
True.
That is varied.
At least to my recollection.
Well, I guess we could get our crafting started. If you want to
Yeah.
work on that with me, Rayo.
Oh, yes, we can. Let's.
Yes, away
Sorry, I
from
was still a little distracted.
Still freaking out, just a little.
Yeah, let's be about.
If you're a zombie.
Okay, so the first thing is, where are y'all going to be doing this work? Because there's a two-stage here. You have to design it, and then you have to actually craft it.
Probably just design it in our.
Got the jeweler kit, so we could do it at the actual lodgings, which is probably a good bet. Right? Because with the jeweler's kit,
Yeah, but like the jeweler's kit doesn't. The jeweler's kit has stuff necessary for working jewels and like bending pliable metals and stuff. It doesn't have the stuff you would need for like melting down silver bars.
so maybe after we get through with design and stuff, maybe we can see if we can work together where Emerson is.
Yeah, you can do that.
So I guess design is first. Stopping and having lunch and working on design. Can we use guidance on the design phase since that's a shorter phase, or no?
1 second. 0.5. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how long this will take y'all to do the design, because guidance is only useful for the length of a minute unless you have someone constantly casting it.
And we need to do 2 different designs
Yeah.
too.
So I'm trying to figure out how long it'll take. Let's see, you can do 150 gold piece thing in a work week, which is 10 days, so it'll take 250 gold, so it'd take y'all about a full week to do the...
250 gold? You mean 25,
25,
right?
yeah. Sorry, what did I say, 250?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all are doing 225 gold, which comes out to about a 50 gold piece total craft.
So like a 1 week total craft.
Yeah.
So we could do like a little bit of it at a time.
But it'll take too long for you to do the full thing under guidance, unless you have someone just constantly casting guidance like every 6 seconds. Because I think that it's for one action.
Okay.
Right, that's a
Yeah. So we would need 1 test for powdering the gems.
To intentionally powder the gems, it is a DC 15 check with your dexterity and your proficiency if you're proficient in it.
Oh, I thought powdering was a 10, but I guess I got that wrong. I can't open it right now.
If a player is intentionally powdering producing gem dust, they may make a DC 15 check. If they succeed, they convert a gem to an equivalent value worth of dust. If they fail, but still roll a 10 or higher, they manage to salvage half the gem's original value in gem dust.
Okay, so we need 2 of those, but with assistance. So two of those checks at advantage would probably be the first thing to see if we get gem dust, right?
And this would be over the course of a week that you're working.
Do you want to spend time on that now, or do y'all have anything you want to do in town while we're waiting? We could show the area of the lizard, but I think that would be dangerous to go before we plan on it.
Now,
Rail does have one other thing to work on.
Okay. So,
What's that?
What'd you say, Rail? Rail doesn't have anything what?
So Rail, I was just curious about if he has any spare time to look into dagger and see if I can figure out exactly what's going on with it. Matt.
Yeah, that's definitely an option too. So, okay, it's looking like y'all are going to want to take some downtime. So the first thing is, if you two are working together, as in y'all are both working on the craft, y'all can cut the time in half. So as opposed to being a full work week, it would be half of a work week. But then you would not be able to give each other advantage, because you would each be taking your own part of the tasks. So while one person is doing like the design work, another person is powdering the gems, and so on and so forth. So you can,
we can't have Reeve and Fairdeer help with that too, because we only have 1 jeweler's kit.
Yeah, Reeve doesn't have isn't proficient in it either. So yeah. And if the person helping you is actively like giving you an advantage, then it'll take the full time, because they're just giving you an advantage as opposed to, working on other parts of it while you're working on parts of it.
Sounds like, honestly, quality is more important than speed.
Well, there's several DC 15 checks that have to be done to make them with this.
So I think that doing the one that gives you advantage is better than doing all the checks with no advantage and taking half the time.
I mean, we have the option of just not crafting them ourselves and dropping them off to be done by a craftsperson when we get to the upper city too.
I mean, you have the materials, and this is tinkering adjacent, so you could go talk to Emerson, give her the materials. You already have her working on the design for a set of dice, because Rail was asking her about that.
Yeah, let's go see if Emerson is interested in trying to make the stuff.
Okay.
Just because, while I know we're committed for 4 days, I don't know that we're committed for 7.
Yeah.
And we don't know what else is going on in the town that might take our time.
Okay.
Alright, and it's not.
Give me that again. I didn't hear what you said, Rail.
I'm just thinking it's not like. Well, there's probably somebody who's some results from us, but hopefully this time won't mess with that too much. Just Rail being paranoid.
Okay, so there were a couple things y'all were discussing. Y'all were talking about getting lunch, and y'all were talking about tracking down Emerson and talking to her again. So which is it that y'all are going for?
Maybe Emerson first so that we have all the materials dropped off.
Okay. So y'all head over to Emerson's then. She is not in her smithy. Perter is in there though. He's taking he's filling crucibles with powder and taking them and placing them in the open dragon's maw for them to melt down and then pour into ingots and stuff like that. He looks, hi, yeah. If you're looking for Miss Forkrag, she's taking her lunch. Can I help you?
I don't know if you can take orders for her items that are custom or not.
I take orders from her a lot.
From her or for her?
On her behalf, but I'm not there.
You're not? Where are
If
you
want
at?
to commission some.
I haven't decided yet, but that's their thing.
Well, let me know. I assumed you were traveling with them while they were doing a bunch of shopping and planning and stuff. He kind of walks
with the
up.
planning, yes, but this trip to Emerson, that's on them.
Okay. So he goes over and he gets like a little log book out and he flips open and comes. So y'all were here earlier, right?
Yes, we were.
Yeah, we went and kind of did some initial design work on what we wanted to get done and picked up some materials.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping to have 4 of these cards have a leather sheets on the back with silver inlay.
He kind of takes the
And
cards.
Jim does. And she picks the probably like the 4 ace cards of the suits.
Okay. It's like.
And
he's just kind of. I mean, they're not like. I think we can work with them. We may have to reinforce them with like a little bit of metal or something.
I was thinking leather glue to the back and then like silver corner caps.
Mm-hmm.
And inlay with a bit of gem dust.
On the back, he takes and flips over and says, "Okay, yeah." He writes the request down in the logbook. He takes the materials from you and sets them down. What else? Anything else?
You want to describe yours, Rael?
Yes. So, I was thinking of getting these dice. Like I said, was debating between inlaid and just covered, but covered might be better.
He kind of takes the dice and looks at them. I mean, they'll take some damage from the heat of the liquid metal. I mean, we can't really do like plating and stuff like that. That's more of an is-it thing. They know how to do that where they like put in the water and the metal just kind of binds to it. We can dip it in like some silver or something like that and then let it dry off, but there may be some damage. I have no idea what it'll come out looking like.
And you can't do inlay on this because of the material.
I mean, it's bone, so we can like shave the top part of it off a bit and do some inlay and engraving. But
You might be able to just do straight silver cubes. There's enough silver here. You could do a cube with gem dust.
we could use these as a base for a model.
That works. How about just making a pair of set of silver? Or I don't know. if we have enough material.
You cut off after silver.
If you use a little more than half the silver, it shouldn't matter because I have a little bit of extra leather in my material list. So,
silver dice, jewel inlays, jewel dust inlays, etching, something like that.
If we have enough material, silver dice, like, not a bad idea, because it sounds like the bone may not have been the best material choice.
Yeah, he looks over like the materials I've provided and is like, taps the silver, takes it, scratches it a little. So this is good silver. If there's not enough, we got some in the back and I can fill it in with a little bit more. Shouldn't be a problem.
Alright then, let's just go for that.
Okay. He sets that down and he writes the information. You want us to use the dice as like a casting?
Sure, that works.
He takes
Use them
the
to make a
dice.
mold, I guess.
Yeah. It's like, between me and her, don't think we got any other big orders. He flips through the logbooks. So, got a couple small repairs to do, but yeah, this is the biggest thing we got going on, so we'll put you on the front burner. Me and her, it'll take 3 days actually, yeah, 3 days. If I bump someone, we can get done too, but we'll need a little bit extra just to, get the rush on it.
I think we've got 3 days free, so...
Alright, so, y'all taking care of most of the materials here. Let's go with 30 gold for the both of them.
That sounds about right. 15 each, Trail?
15 each works for me.
So he collects the payment, he writes a note, and then he grabs a slip of parchment and he writes the specifics down, signs it, writes the day and the time, rolls it, and hands it back to you. So you can claim it in case I'm not here.
Well, you're the documancer. Why don't you keep a hold of that one?
Sure. I'm actually making a note of add that to my inventory. So that was 15
15 gold each, yeah.
a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Or was that a different currency?
15 gold for you and 15 gold for him. He wrote it up as a single thing and gave y'all a discount because y'all were providing most of the materials needed. So they're just charging you labor, 30 gold for the two.
Okay. I wanted to make sure I was writing that down correctly.
No worries.
Inventory. So I'm just gonna. So this is a receipt from Herder, whose name I do not know.
Perder.
I'd like my 4 card.
Per. Piper, Eric, Reginald, Dexter, Eric, Reginald.
I'd like my 4 card suites to be the skull and the mushroom, like you mentioned, and then a bug and a poison vial.
Yeah. To do that.
I mean, on my aces.
Yeah, make a note
cards.
of it. Okay. So while all that's been going on, Faradir, what have you and Kay been up to?
I think I'm gonna help out at the about the carry place.
So
when we're in the middle of ordering, you're just gonna leave? We're not working on this here.
I imagine.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is that I misunderstood, and I think in character, I was thinking you were gonna go off to craft this for 2 days. So.
Okay. Yeah. No.
We were, but then we.
So you basically left them at the dancer's skirt planning, and then they did for them to do planning, and went off to go visit Anumi.
We didn't go to the dancer skirt yet. We went straight to Emerson.
Okay.
Never mind. That works.
Okay. So they went straight to Emerson with the intention of working on this, and you went off to go and visit the apothecary.
Yeah.
So apothecary is much the same. It has this like very thick medicinal smell in the air. There's several glass vials, scales, delicate tools within. The old man wearing like the heavy wool cloak. He's kind of like pottering. He comes. Hello. Oh, you're the friend of the guy that was unconscious.
Yeah, he's better now.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I guess the potions just took their time.
Yeah, about that. So, I'm a bit of an apprentice apothecary person myself. I was wondering if I could help you out with making potions.
I mean, we burned through most of them. I got some boiling in the back. You just want to work? Or...
Yeah, get more experience.
Okay. Do you know how to use a healer's herbalism kit?
What? I don't think I do.
Okay. Well, I can start teaching you, but I mean, I don't normally do classes. But yeah, no. If you don't know how to use like an herbalism kit, or I don't want to damage the ingredients by mishandling them. It's kind of a basic training. You can watch and help a little.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, I'm not paying you.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm helping for the experience.
Okay. What's your intelligence modifier?
I think a 1.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead and make me a straight intelligence roll.
Nat 20.
Nat 20? Okay. There's a synergy between your training with alchemy supplies and the basic understanding of how the body functions that your simic initiation imparted on you gives you a fairly good idea of like how to manage these potions that Anumi is working on. So you spend a couple hours of the day helping him like scoop and bottle the liquid and decant it and set it to ferment and go through the process of charging to act as a healing potion. And he's basically like working in small stocks, so like he gets 2 bottles maybe done in the time that you're there, and he sets that off and he's like, that just needs to sit for a day or two to finish. But say about 6 hours of time has passed, so you're getting on into the evening time now. So that said, Ingrid, Rail, Fairdeer disappeared for like 6 hours while y'all were going to Emerson's. What have y'all been up to in the past 6 hours?
What have we been up to in the past 6 hours?
Yeah.
Drinking.
I just woke up from a coma. I need a drink.
You said you wanted to do an investigation or something on the dagger, I think?
Yes. Was thinking of using detect on it, see if I can figure out anything up. Hopefully winding up K again.
Okay. Your
And the
castle?
dagger checking is stuff you're doing in private, right?
Ingrid, I'm not gonna. I've gotten burned by keeping too many secrets before. I give it a try. I'll give actually trusting my party members a try.
We've got the detect magic wand, so I might be able to help with detecting on it.
Okay, so you cast. One of y'all is casting detect magic either through the wand or through your natural spells. The magic items that y'all are already aware of that y'all are each carrying give off a magical aura, as does the dagger. You can also spend an action to study the aura to learn the primary magic associated with it.
I kind of assumed maybe he'd cast and I'd use the wand if we... I don't know if
It's
that
up to
would
y'all.
help.
Well, I can cast detect magic as a.
Yes, it takes you 10
Just
minutes.
So you
Yes.
could cast it as a ritual, and I could use the wand while we're studying it. That way we could both get a good
Okay.
sense.
Okay, and it lasts for 10 minutes, I believe, once you cast it, so...
It does.
Okay, so like I was saying, the magic items that y'all are already aware of that you're carrying start glowing. Ingrid's breastplate, your
My spore
robe,
pouch.
your spore pouch, the wand itself, those start glowing, as does the Raven's Head dagger.
Right. Does the dagger have any school of magic?
You focus in and study on the detect magic, and it has a fairly strong aura of evocation magic around it.
Really?
That's the one where it can alter things, right?
No, that's transmutation. Evocation is damage dealing, fireballs, lightning bolts.
Evocation's like fireball.
Okay.
Interesting.
Like how we all.
There's no kind of maker's mark or anything like that on it that I
Nope.
can find. Is
About the only thing you notice is the eyes that were previously red have turned glassy clear.
And we saw them all as red also when we were carrying him around, right?
I believe so, yes.
Sorry, what was?
The eyes on the dagger when you had first retrieved it were red, but they've turned
Were
glassy
red.
clear.
Huh, I
Right.
could have sworn you had rubies where the eyes are.
That is what I. It's interesting. It is mad. I wonder it could be tracking some kind of charge or discharge. This may be worth investigating further. I mean, so there's nothing like evocation wouldn't be like a mind control. That would be
No.
something else.
Evocation is
Okay, so
damage
this-
dealing, healing, stuff like that. I don't know why healing
This might
is an
be safe for me
evocation.
to use. The question is why? Why did it affect me the way it did the first?
I'll ask Watcher if he's ever seen anything like it.
Make a
bad
history
idea.
check for Watcher.
I don't know what Watcher's history would be. 1 second.
I believe it's just a straight intelligence. I don't think he's proficient in it.
Only a 2, so probably not. But yeah, Watcher got a 2.
Like, he just kind of gives you back a mental image of a dagger with a raven sitting on top of it.
Well, it matches your cane. I guess
It does.
Arcana
I
checks.
suppose. Although, a slightly different style, but. You know, I think I'll hang on to this. Figure out what's going on with it.
Should we do Arcana checks or anything?
I mean, if Rail will let you, you can. If Rail wants to, he can.
Absolutely. 2 heads are better than 1.
Alright, whoever's helming it.
If we're doing Arcana, I'll help Ingrid rather than the reverse.
We'll do the guidance thing too. On this one.
Stacking buffs.
Yes, stacking buffs. I rolled really horribly.
What do we get?
I only got a 10 total, so...
10 total?
Mm.
I mean, you look over it, it's clearly, like, has some magical properties to it from the glow, but you're not seeing any etchings, you're not seeing any runes or activation words or anything like that.
It's interesting that we're finding so many bird stuff.
It is. I mean, birds are popular for a good reason. They're just kind of great.
How'd you find it anyway?
How did I find it? I don't actually...
Roll a history check for me to see how much you remember of what happened, because a lot was going on at that moment.
Yeah.
And Rail would remember, even if Meryl doesn't quite remember.
Yeah. History check 18.
18? You remember waking up in the lab with the dagger in your stomach? And a lot of blood.
Oh, right. That was how I got stabbed. But I don't remember who stabbed me or what. Okay, right. It's been a bit since that happened.
Yeah, it's been like 4 days.
It's been a busy 4 days, even though Rail conscious to... Yeah, so I think somebody may have tried to kill me with this. Possibly. It's hard to tell.
Was that the day you were bleeding and Fairdeer scared Daldra and...
That was. Remember I mentioned something tried to make a pretty good job of tearing me in half in mine and Faraday's lab?
You didn't actually mention that to... Oh, wait, no, yeah, you did recently mention that.
Yeah, I did earlier.
Yeah, you did it earlier. Sorry, I haven't updated my notes.
Maybe when we get back up there to see if the lab's safe...
The place that Kathall told y'all not to go to.
Clues.
Yeah, well, later.
Yeah.
Let's...
Well, like you said, you want time for it to starve, right?
Yeah, let's meet up with Kathall before we go back into that lab. Assuming Kathall is still in one piece.
I don't know if it was Gruul or what. She didn't really say. I didn't, want her to have to waste another spell for a response.
That's true.
When, there might be danger around.
Did you tell them what Kathall said?
Yeah.
Okay.
That they were that this area was under attack and not to come back, but...
That the drumming from the Red Waste had stopped and stuff like that? Okay.
But she didn't necessarily connect those two thoughts and say it is the Gruul or anything. So that's still kind of up in the air what they were actually attacked by.
Oh.
And if it was them or the whole city or someone after us, that was all unknown still. But I didn't want to ask for a reply when she might be using spells to guard, so...
Fair enough. We'll find out later.
Well,
we have things to do with here first.
I don't know what else we can do to prepare for that future hunt, if you have any ideas. And she'll spend some time to kind of go, step by step what they saw in the tunnels and the maintenance hatch near the old fountain and the corridors and the grates and the drop down. and the bone creature, and it possibly having a big hoard around it that looked like it was worth quite a bit, and it being able to talk and shoot lightning, and that it said it would be seeing us. So that could mean it expects
Wait,
us
say
to
that
come.
again about talking and shooting light?
Yes, it can shoot lightning just like those lizards that attack the city, and it talks. And it said
Right.
it would see us again
What
soon.
did it say?
That it would see us again soon?
It laughed. It said, "Come back. I'm having fun. I'll find you later," or something along those lines.
So I've been expecting it to come out and attack us, but it might have just thought, we'd get greedy and go back. Which, while not for its hoard, would probably be the case anyway, as there's a good chance the coin might be there, since it's right, that area with the fountain is right by the Demir hub. And they didn't say the city closest, they were dropping us at the city closest to the coin. They said the Demir station closest to the coin. And that was right by the station. So,
Right.
good chances that the coin is somewhere with it. But at least we don't have any other leads on it at the moment. I was looking for other old passageways down, and that's the one I found so far. There might be other tunnels, though.
Alright.
And we don't know if it's actually the one stirring up the creatures, or the coin stirring up the creatures, or none of the above. But the strange thing
Or both.
was, we talked to, I don't remember if you were awake for this, but we talked to someone afterwards that they said the creatures weren't directly attacking people when they breached the walls. They were walking in towards like a point. Well, they didn't say it like that.
I believe that was Rathin
See,
you were talking
that-
to, and he told you that
That
they were not specifically targeting people. They were attacking people that got between them and where they were heading in the city, but they were trying to get
that
towards the
is
center of the
news to
city.
me.
Yes, so there might be a chance, if there's a small attack, we could subdue or follow one of these creatures to where it's going.
During the 6 hours that y'all spend investigating and talking about this, Faradir has returned. If he's returning to the inn.
Yes, I had not heard that.
So, I mean, it could be that we'll go with Bone Creature, doesn't have it, and it's sending minions in to get it, because it might not be able to get up here easily or without a problem. So, but then the problem is we would be letting a minion possibly get closer to it than we would want. But, I mean, my alternate plan would be next time there's an attack, try to follow one if we can do so without endangering other people. Like he said, sometimes they attack in groups of 1 to 2, that the last attack was unusual. If we got a group of 1 to 2 attacking, it would be pretty easy to follow. And just walk ahead and clear the way of people. But that would also be a little bit of explaining to do to the guards of what we were doing.
It would.
So we might want to talk
It's a
to
shame.
Rathin if we were going to do that kind of thing, since he...
I would think we would want to talk to a lady, Farkeep, about that, since this is her town.
It's her town, but it's his duty. It's somewhat high art. You don't necessarily jump above what someone's duty is to the next person if you can avoid it.
Right, I'm just thinking that because
Rathin would poison you.
I'm not saying we force Rathin into anything, I'm just saying that we should probably have both of them as part of this conversation.
Okay, but you
One or the other.
do realize that it would be a bit of an insult just to go to his mom about his duty, right?
I mean,
If you say so.
Okay, well, if you do get poisoned, I can try to stabilize you, and you were warned.
Can I get poisoned? I mean,
and you get poisoned. Alright. Oh.
I think.
Well,
with-
I mean,
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I assume he would know how to. He's trained nobility.
good to know.
And I think with that, we'll pretty much just about call it. It's saying 2 o'clock. Or it's been about 4
Right.
hours. So, hey, I had fun. I have really freaking missed this. Meryl, it's great to have you back.
Yeah,
It's great to be back.
So hopefully this will be going up on YouTube sometime in the next week. If you are watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, and if you want to get notifications that when we have new videos out, activate the notifications. If you like this, I'd really appreciate it if you like it, or if you show it to a friend. If you're watching us now live on Twitch, thank you so much for sticking with us. We were terribly sorry about the little 2-week hiatus that we went on without any explanation or warning. Zizva and I have had some life things going on, and we don't really want to get too much into that. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you all for sticking with us. Like, follow, subscribe, tweet, all that fun stuff. Anything to help us grow. We are currently sitting at how many followers? We now have 38 followers, which I really am super stoked about. I hope for us to eventually hit 50 followers, and we'll see how popular we can get from there. I will be resuming GM's Brew sometime, hopefully next week or the week after. Follow us on Twitter at Bonus Roll for updates information about that, and I will tell you all about that. Is there anything you guys wanted to cover?
Oh, probably just that when we hit 50, we're going to have the bigger giveaway again.
Oh, a surprise! Okay, yeah, no. I actually have been talking about totally. When we hit 50, we will be doing another beginner box giveaway like we did at 25 followers. Just because, it's really nice. It's something I want to see going out. And it encourages growth in the hobby. So, yeah, get your friends to follow us. Follow us if you haven't. Kidnap people and have them follow us.
please don't kidnap people.
Tell them that Tux told you to do this.
Text 789.
Oh dear.
But yeah, no. We'll continue keep on trying to give away a set of dice, because yeah.
We're 2 away from having 2 sets to do. So.
Yes. I'm very happy about that. But yeah, I hope you all have a great week. Thanks for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed.
All right.
Did anyone else have anything they wanted to add before I shut this down?
Not at all. Take care, everybody.
All right. Well, take care, everyone. Thanks for stopping in, and I hope you enjoyed the show.